Warning: all stories could be completely made up, and we have no way to confirm that. Any and all names mentioned in the show are most likely fake. We at Campfire Moto Stories are not journalists and should not be considered as much. If you're offended by anything said or shown in this episode, we don't care, but we encourage you to voice your opinion so we can laugh at the fact that you can't control your emotions. This program contains full language, and I recommend no one to watch or listen to this.
The views and opinions expressed in the program are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the sponsor, any advertisers, or the sponsor's affiliates, employees, or partners.
Coming to you live from the Claremont Lounge in Atlanta, Georgia, it's Campfire Moto Stories.
Hey everyone, welcome to Campfire Moto Stories. I'm Anthony Bennett. I'm thrilled to have you join us today for our live show. This YouTube show / podcast is all about sharing amazing motorcycle stories from everyday riders like you. Whether it's an epic ride, funny mishap, or an unforgettable adventure, we want to hear it all. Today, we have some fantastic guests in the studio who we'll introduce in just a moment, where we'll dive into their riding stories. Plus, we have exciting segments lined up, including pre-recorded interviews, tech tips, spotlight a stolen bike, and stories sent in by you through website and or phone line. I'll have the phone lines on, so make sure to call in anytime, especially if it has something funny to do with our guests. Lastly, you'll get to hear an awesome story from my 5-year-old son about riding. May or may not be completely made up. But hey, 5-year-old can tell a great story, so can you. Don't forget, you can earn entries into our giveaway by participating in the show. Check out campfiremotostories.com for all the official rules, and by participating in any way, shape, or form, you indicate that you've read the official rules, our terms and conditions. Let's get it started. Another lap around the world, another request, another call, all I need, I can't All right. Hey, welcome to Campfire Moto Stories. I'm the host, Anthony Bennett, and I've got a really good guest with me today. We're going to have some fun tonight because, boy, do I have some stories to bring up. I talked to your mom yesterday, and, I've texted a few people. So welcome to the show, Jake Morman. Jake the Squirrel Morman.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. It's been, I know you've asked me a few times, and I'm like, dude, he's going to kill me if I can't blow him off again. So last time I did, I was like, dude, I was for sure I was never hearing back from you. And then you popped up. I was just talking about you too. And you hit me up and I was like, I got to do it. I got to get on there somehow, some way.
And then I get a call on Wednesday. And this asshole goes, dude, you're going to kill me. And I'm like, here it comes. He's canceling on me. He's like, I destroyed my shoulder wheeling my Harley last night. I got a doctor's appointment on Friday, but I'm going to go early so I can still make the show. And I was like, oh, okay, good.
Yeah, I troop it, dude. If I can push through the pain, I usually do it. But yeah, not something I expected to happen.
Well, I mean, before the show started, we crushed up some pills and,
did a little couple lines. Yeah, we're ripping.
Yeah, it's good to go.
Yeah, get on some of that crank.
You were telling me that you listened to a few old shows. So there was a guy, Frank Victorine, that worked for Suzuki. And I texted him if he wanted a drink, kind of like I did to you. And he was like, no, just Coke. So I literally took baking soda and made lines. And I offered to him. And he's like, I don't drink. I don't smoke. This seems like it'd be a good time.
Yeah,
I'm like, Frank,
it's been a while.
It's just baking soda. It's not real, dude. It was one of the funnier intros.
Dude hit his heyday years. He's like, it's been
a
while.
He's
clean sober?
Straight edge.
Hey.
Yeah. So when I gave him that, he was like, I have cocaine in my hand. You could see it on his face. It was great. So with that, I always start with my icebreaker. And I usually only have one, maybe two for people. I've got 4 for you.
Oh, shit.
Maybe 5. So I'm just going to come in and hit it. So is your sister still hot?
Dude, racing has been horrible, dude. Yeah, that was always a crazy thing racing, dude. My sister is always umbrella girling and stuff, and yeah.
Yeah, she was trophy girl too.
Trophy girl, yeah. She did the Umbrella Girls USA stuff. Was always doing stuff for I think she did stuff for Michael Jordan's team for a while.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah.
So it's funny that you just said Skip's name because I couldn't remember if it was you or Skip that people were like, don't talk about that, because his chick was like, do the same thing kind of thing. So I kind of vaguely remember somebody, like I said, for either you or Skip, that was like, hey, don't mention that. Like, don't be a smart ass with it. So I had to come in with that from the start.
Dude, you gotta see what happens.
All right, so the next one. This is my favorite Jake Morman line ever. So we're at Marmo, and Huey's talking about the endurance race that he used to hold with a Ninja 250s, and you go, 12 hours on a Ninja 250? How long does that take? And Huey and I just kind of looked at each other, and we looked at you, and Huey smirked and goes, 12 hours. And right away, we knew what you meant. Like, how, like, that must seem like forever. Dude, but the way you said it was like, how long did that take? And
dude, yeah, because you see the guys race them, and it's funny because one of my buddies hit me up like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, like was like trying to get me to run them, and I was like, dude, I've been off a bike for so long, like I was like, you need to give me like a whole year to train, like even like a 4-hour races, and he was like, no, we're just gonna be in it for fun. I'm like, I don't know if a 400 would be that fun for me.
All right, so that was one of the funniest ones, just because the smirk and Hugh and I looked at each other and we were like, we know what he means.
This fucking dude.
Yeah, we're gonna hammer on him. So the next one's actually not for you, and your mom's probably watching. Which, by the way, feel free to comment. The chat is live. I will see it and either mention it. And feel free to call in if you got a good story. So the next one's on your mom. So hopefully next time she sees me, she doesn't beat me. This is something. And I honestly saw the Amy Winehouse movie not too long ago, and it brought this memory back and then getting you on. So Amy Winehouse had passed away like the day you guys came to the shop, pick up your bike or whatever. And I just remember your mom going, Amy Winehouse is dead. I can't believe it. I said, really? A woman that made a song about not going to rehab? You can't believe she's dead? And she's like,
oh, dude.
She's like, shut up. Okay, yeah. I just mean I can't believe she's dead. I'm like, how can you not believe she's dead? She made that song. So.
Yeah. Dude, funny story like that. Same thing. Back when I was racing like pocket bikes back in the day, we were like, dude, I was probably 8 or 9. We were at a race in Jacksonville, and one of the guys that were super fast, they just always on the track, man. They're always there, like on time usually, and they just showed up like hours late. And like my sister was like super cool with them, and she was like, what happened? What took so long? He's like, oh, our alternator died. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry if you're lost. And he was like, dude, dude, we've never let her live that down since. But just like, she airhead moments sometimes, dude, it's such a blast though. Cause I was like, everyone was like, that's a car part, Ashley.
So it runs in the family.
Yeah, okay. Probably. We're a lot of airheads over here, man.
But you're fast airheads.
Yeah, so. Yeah, at least we can pull something there.
All right, so true or false, you're a Mormon?
No. But, I have many people ask me that.
But you're a Mormon.
I'm a Mormon, but so the religion's O-N. We're the A-N. We're more man.
Oh.
More man.
You're almost more like a mermaid. Or more mermaid.
I guess so, yeah. You could say that.
Okay, then
I can't
a Mormon.
Swim very good, but...
So your people didn't start the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints?
No. Not my people.
No. Actually, it got me wondering, like, did somebody with the name Mormon, like, start it? No, it was a guy named Joseph Smith.
You looked it up?
Yeah. And which is funny, I looked it up and I was like, I actually knew that. Like, I'm full of just useless random information.
Yeah.
And that was one that I actually was like, oh yeah, I did know that.
Dude, there's some people I know that are like, dude, y'all just look up everything on the internet. Like, if you saw my search, like, you'd be like, what is wrong with this person?
Dude.
Are you one of those?
No, I work today. Like, they just do like a Friday fun 30 minutes. And I created a meme game because people are like, you waste so much time on memes. And I'm like, guys, it literally takes me like 6 seconds to find a meme and post it in the chat about something.
Yeah.
And they're like, whatever. So I hosted a meme game, and it was like, whoever can find the meme first to kind of prove a point.
Yeah.
That, yes, you can literally find one like that.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm
like,
one of those.
If you're quick with it and you understand like how to do the search, like you can find this shit so easy. So that was kind of funny that you brought that up.
That's my favorite thing on Facebook is to get on like big groups and just talk mad shit and just like.
Well, even because you'll like, oh, this is gonna start some shit.
Oh yeah, dude, especially the old guys, and you just call them buddy. buddy or pal. You call old dude buddy or pal on the internet, dude, and you watch a whole flame just like absolutely erupt.
I actually used to do like assholes on a hidden internet part where like people would make an asshole comment about the show or post or whatever. My wife's like, "You got to stop that." And I was
No,
like,
dude, those are the best.
I said that's what I said. She's like, "These people are kind of batshit crazy. So if you do that, then eventually
deserve
somebody's
it."
gonna find you or
Yeah.
whatever. Like if you piss them." And I was like, "Okay." Like if it wasn't for having a young son, then maybe I would keep going. But
Do you see the Supercross guy that's been doing that?
yes, and Carnow.
Yeah, Carnow, dude, he has been just ripping people. I think he's on like part 3 or 4 right now,
Yes.
dude, and I love it.
And
dude.
my buddies shared that. I was like, that's literally what I wanted to be. And Megan shut that down. It's funny. His race number is my race number.
Oh, is it?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Dude, hey, he's just pulling one for you.
What's actually funny, so the year that he announced he was going to be 169, it like the second or third race, he's got that video where his foot's sideways after the
Yeah.
start. And I texted my buddies, I'm like, I should have told him, don't run that number. It's not good luck. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe 34 is not the best number either.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm jumping out of line. Was that because of Kevin?
So I ran it forever. So it's funny, when I started racing, I got the pocket bike racing, and I wanted to be 34, but they didn't have it. So I ended up picking 17 for Miguel Dumel. And so I ran that through all the way through pocket bikes until I got on the Supermotos at SEMRA, and then I went to 134 because it was hard to get a single, like double digit number.
Double digit. Yeah.
And then all the way to, and then even when I went to the Rookies Cup, I tried to get 34, and obviously everybody wanted the number. So then I just went Matt Mladen on it and just ripped a 66. And then when I went to the Superbikes, I was able to pull 34 in the super stock class.
I just checked the comments, and your sister said, yes, I'm still hot. I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, and then your mom said that we're throwing her under the bus. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't hold
throwing
punches.
shade, throwing shade.
Yeah.
You got to.
It was pretty funny because I mean, like I said, I did the math, and we haven't seen each other in days away from 14 years, probably,
it's been a
except
while.
for the bike. That you were
Yeah.
like, oh, you bought this bike for me. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that. But yeah, like the last time we really hung out, it's been close to that. But now that you said that, what year was that I got that bike from you?
Had to be like 18 or 19 at
I was
least.
gonna say because I was down in the Jonesboro area working or whatever.
Yep.
So I remember you came to the shop. So that's kind of funny. You forget about that kind
Or
of
like
stuff.
maybe like at Supercross, like you get
Oh,
like,
yeah, you
start
run into
people, run
people,
into people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I should also add that I got tickets. The plan was for this guy to come do the show tonight, and then he's going to crash over. I was going to actually get him hammered, shit-faced drunk, and crash over, which can't do that now. And then we're going to wake up at like 6 a.m. and go to Charlotte Super Motocross race tomorrow at Concord, actually. It's not Charlotte. And then, yeah, understandable. Because do you want to be in the car for 10 hours?
No, one of my
with that
buddies just
on?
hit me up recently. He was like, "Man, let's go to. You want to ride with me to North Carolina tomorrow?" And I was like, "Dude, I do not want to ride in
Yeah.
a car." Like,
I already had an offer, free tickets, free ride, and
if I'm going to North Carolina, I'm definitely
going
gonna go watch Supercross.
Yeah. Which sucks because I was like, man, that's so cool that we get to do the show and then we get to go hang out for a whole
I
day at
know.
that event tomorrow.
That would have been
So
such a sick thing.
maybe next year. Actually, I've got a strong feeling it's not going to be at there because they've done it 3 years now. I feel like they're going to move it to somewhere else.
Yeah, well, like Supercross wasn't in Atlanta this year. I know, like Daytona, we went this year. Last year, it was so big because they had gotten rid of Atlanta last year.
Yep.
Dude, we went there, and tickets were crazy expensive. But
No,
like,
they've been going up.
how
yeah.
gnarly! Did you watch them all rush the?
Oh, 2 years ago with Jet.
Yeah, they rushed the field. I was like, dude. I saw Anderson. He was just red bombing, like taking people
So
out.
was AP.
Yeah,
AP got
dude,
caught
they
in the
were
middle of it, too.
not
That was-
happy.
that
It
was
was
pretty
gnarly,
funny.
dude. I was kind of like, dude, as a racer, like I get it. Like that is not what you want to.
Well, yeah, but at least they were at slower speeds.
Yeah.
You would have literally demolished somebody. And you know what? They would have deserved it.
Oh, for
you
sure,
know,
for sure.
But that's part of like that mob mentality thing too. Like it's one person does it, another one, then the whole
Oh,
like
yeah,
everybody just
dude.
lose their mind. They're not
Security
thinking
can't handle
anymore.
that many people, dude.
No.
No matter what they try to do.
No. Like how the whole fuck the police thing starts going, and then the fence goes down, and all it just starts
this
going down from
mayhem.
there. So all right. So the next one I got, I said I talked to Parker. Text me. So he said, Ask him about the time we got in the security guard's car at Barber.
Oh yeah. Dude, so like you know Barber, they're just such Nazis there. Super cool people, like, but they're just Nazis. Like
I don't know what you're talking
yeah,
about. They don't walk around like this at all. They don't walk around.
dude, they are. But you know, I get it. Their tracks, like, you know, it's like one of the probably nicest tracks I would say in the country, like that I've raced.
Yeah.
Like it's green grass all year round. It seems like. But yeah, we were playing around on pitters and stuff, like we always do. And dude shows up to the pits, and then you know, me being smart, hey man, can we get in that cop car? Yeah, I guess so. So then we end up the cop car. We're in the back, and he's taking pictures. I'm on the blowhorn, just yelling at people in the pits. Just, you know, just having fun. And yeah, like they usually kind of chase us around in there for a while, but you know, we were able to kind of make some fun out of it a little bit.
So so it wasn't like you guys got in the cop car and stole it. They actually allowed you.
No,
That's what I was hoping to
No,
get the
dude.
story of.
You're not there. You would never be able to go back to that place, man. Are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
I can
Have you seen the motocross track they have there?
No,
Dude, it's sweet.
I've been wanting to go. My buddy Daniel.
Yeah.
He was going out there, and he sent me videos where it was just like a mud pit. Was it this year or last year?
It was this year in. Oh God, what was it? It was around springtime.
Yeah,
Dude, it was a hurricane.
yeah.
That
He sent
came
me
through.
videos of just like water standing in the pits and stuff.
About 15 easy ups were lost that day, including ours. So my buddy had one. We locked it down on all four corners with like coolers, gas cans, staked it to the ground because the storm was coming.
Yeah,
Gone. And then we were watching actually the Supercross race in my trailer because rain was coming. We were like, okay, we'll just ride it out, see if they're gonna race again. So as we're going through that, we're watching it on my phone in the enclosed trailer. We just feel, and we're like, what the hell? So we walk out, and his easy up's gone. The guy next to us easy ups into my truck. Oh my God. I just told my wife like 3 weeks ago, I saw this gnarly scratch on my hood. And I was like, I don't know where this came from. I was like, it must have been a rock. And it just dawned on me right now that's where it came from. Oh my God.
Dude,
I'm going to remind me. I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh yeah. I
That's
see it now.
gnarly.
Because like the swirl marks and everything. I can't believe
I remember I was racing
figured that out.
600s at Little Tally, and they had a tornado warning. Like
I've heard about this.
Dude, it was gnarly, dude. And they like were telling everybody to go down, like, you know, they have like a little bunker house there.
Oh,
and they were gonna
yeah.
get everybody there, or like the silo. And we were just kind of just like hanging out, trying to figure out what we did. I think we ended up going to like the, you know, like where they usually do the awards or like the pit times in that little shack.
Yep.
Before they had like the big silo, like they had people packed in that thing, dude. It was gnarly. I was like, can you
was like
imagine?
hot as hell
Oh,
too.
dude, it
Like,
was.
everybody's just pouring.
You're trying to
sweat.
race the next day, dude.
Yeah.
It's like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. You're like, dude, let me just get back in so I can go sleep.
All right, so you mentioned Little Tally, so I'll go ahead and hit this one next. Actually, I skipped one, but I remember me telling you at one time what my lap time was, which was like a high 103, low 104 at Little Tally. Like it was like my second track day.
It's decently quick, yeah.
And you go, I think I did like a 59 on my 125 there. And I was like, fuck you.
Dude, yeah.
So what was that right? Is that about your time
I think
that
it's
was
about
there?
like 59s or like 1 minutes around there on the 125s. Like most of the dudes were ripping because I think on like the super bikes, like the most like 600 guys were like in the 50. I want to say like 58s or something like that.
I feel like the track record's like 56 or 57 now.
Yeah.
So to be 2 seconds or 3 seconds off on a 125, I was like,
Moving, dude.
oh shit, this kid's for real. Because that was before I even ever getting to see you race. Or
Yeah,
ride
dude.
at that
The
point.
125 that's like the track to be on a 125. Like it's just so fast.
Okay.
Like, oh yeah, dude. You can.
Because I was wondering that. I'm like, how can you get to that on a 125? Because kind of like Ninja 250 thing or other thing. You're like, that's slow. That bike's slow.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because I think back. I don't know if they had the. It was like the off the back straightaway, and then you hit that left, and they didn't really have the. I don't even think they had the rumble strips at the time there, like they do now. Like they have that little like rumble strip area, I think.
Are you talking about like after the carousel or
Yeah, after the carousel, you come down the back straightaway, come into the finish line, you come over the little hill,
yeah,
and break
farmhouse.
farmhouse,
Yep.
like the left, and then you kind of like come up, and then you kind of sweep all the way to the front straightaway.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I don't even think those rumble strips were there when I was on the GP 125. Like I don't think that came around until like I was on the 600. They had like brought them in. But yeah, that track on a 125 was like one of my favorite places because you really could just like, I don't even think you had a break at like turn one if I could remember correctly, dude. I think you could just pitch it in and just turn in because the bull would just grab you and on 125 you just dart through there.
Your dad just texted me, and Danny, I've already got that one. Your wife told me to ask this one, but you gave me some more information, so I will bring that up here in a little bit, Danny.
I'm telling you, him and his buddy together, because they're out golfing right now, coming back from Miami. Like I told you, he bought that new Honda 900.
Yeah.
I was fucking with him today. I told him I was gonna go buy a Katana 750 so I could ride with him.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I told him
Oh
I
my
get my
God.
biker boy jacket and
Dude,
shit.
Honestly, I've always thought about this. Yeah, the GSXR name is cool, and I can't stand when people call it Gixxer. Pisses me off. But like, a Katana's badass,
Dude.
Why wasn't the GSXR the Katana, and the Katana the GS?
Yeah,
in a way,
so
right?
much cooler.
Because I understand it started as the GS, then it went to the GSX, then when it went to the GSXR, like that was just their progression. However, but at one point nobody was like, "Hey, we should actually call it the cool race bike, the Katana."
Dude, I'm with you.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Because
I've
I mean, what is
never
it? The
understood
new
that.
Honda's like the Fireblade?
Yeah.
Like, how cool does that sound?
Yeah. That
Might as well
sounds
bring
way
the,
cooler
bring the
than a
Katana
CBR.
back, and then put the Katana 750.
Yeah. I don't know.
Can you imagine them saying that on TV for like the racing right now? The Katana against the Fireblade?
Yes.
Sounds like a bunch of fucking ninjas out there.
Exactly. Which is Japanese culture, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, we're not that smart, but
No, hey,
at least
we
we
might-
know that.
We need to go into production.
And marketing, something.
yeah.
But get every brand
me
to
on
make
the
a
18.
350 and make it a badass electric bike like a Start. Nah,
Dude.
rabbit hole.
Yeah.
All right, ADD just kicked in that one. Speaking of Squirrel, where did Squirrel come from?
Dude, yeah, that's been like through racing and just people like that. That's like the one comic. How did that thing come about? So, growing up as a kid, my grandparents had a pecan tree in their backyard. My school.
Oh, you always loved nuts.
Yeah, yeah.
I knew it.
The school had pecan trees. My parents had pecan trees in their backyard. So they would just like do my laundry all the time, and like my grandma would do it or my mom, and they would just find like literally pecans like in the dryer and the washer. So my grandma started calling me Squirrel, and that's kind of stuck. And yeah, I mean, even to this day, dude, I love a good pecan, man. I've been trying to get my kid on them. He's like, I think it's just such a dry taste. He's like, nah,
Yeah.
dog, this isn't it.
Dude, unless they're honey roasted, I'm not about that
No
life.
way, dude.
Yeah.
I like the fresh cut ones. Like my buddy's grandpa, he goes like this big farm and gets them. And like a year ago, he like brought me like a whole like 5-gallon bucket of them, dude. I wore them out.
That's pretty funny to hear that because when you like heard that, I just figured as you were like, because you were little and you were fast and you were squirrely or something like that.
That was it, man. Just like school, like if I was like in school or
mosquito in
something,
here.
dude, I would literally like pull them out in class and just like crack them and just be eating them.
Eat
Yeah,
'em.
oh yeah, I'd get in so much trouble for it. Dude, I don't know. To this day, dude, like
To this
I
day,
die
you
hard
love
for 'em.
nuts.
Yeah.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Apparently, your sister thinks you've wedged a pecan up your ass. So I don't know if there's some story there, but
no.
hey, look, I don't.
hey, no
put
judgment,
people,
right?
Yeah. People put
Judgment
things
free
up their
zone?
butt all the time.
You put a sign up here, no
it's fine.
judgment free zone.
Right next to the no
casting couch?
casting couch. Yeah, this
I
couch.
don't know,
is
dude.
not
There's a couple
casting.
stains on here.
There is. It's from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I had to put the sign up. I was
Yeah,
like, I can't
yeah.
do this anymore.
Yeah. We brought this out of the house. That's why it's up here.
All right. So, you know what? I'm gonna get into this one now.
Oh man.
So your mom had mentioned something about it, and I always try to say, like, don't talk shit on anybody. If there's anything that maybe legal obligation or like legal things, don't mention a last name. So I'll leave out the last name. If you want to put it in, that's fine. You might be
Oh,
buddies
man.
with them and know them that well. So tell me about this Miles getting banned from a bus for digging through panty drawers.
Dude, that's such a
You were 12 years
dude.
old?
I don't know, dude. I don't remember it, but yeah, there was like a story back when we were racing that like we had snuck into somebody's bus and got some panties, from like a pro rider's like girlfriend, maybe wife, and we end up getting our ass chewed out for it. I don't really remember it. Maybe it was me, maybe it wasn't. I don't really know, but yeah,
Are you just saying this for legal reasons? Maybe it was me. Maybe because that's what it sounds like right now.
You know, they bring it up all the time, dude. Like, and like, I just genuinely don't remember stuff sometimes. You know, sometimes it's probably just from hitting my head a little bit, but that is like one thing I'm like, dude, did I do that? Like, I don't remember this. Maybe Miles.
Well, I feel like at 12 years old, if you're gonna do it,
Gotta do it then.
It's more to be silly and like put them on your head or like you're not doing it because you're a perv at that point. You know what I mean? Like you're not at that stage yet.
No.
Maybe I was at 12, but anyways, yeah, like just I don't know. I don't think at 12 you're just
No, dude.
doing
And you gotta think like when we were like growing up, like you hung out with a lot of pro guys, so like they had hot wives or like hot girls, dude. And like
or sisters,
whatever. Yeah, I mean, dude, like kind of growing up, like even on like pitters, you know, you just roll up to like random chicks, dude, on a pitter. Like if you were fast or like you know somebody, like
so you just pulled up like on Dumb and Dumber, like
basically, dude. Basically,
you want to get on this?
You're basically hot rod, dude. Hot rod on the scooter, come rolling in. You like to party.
All right. So the next one I had on the list was we talked about it a little bit earlier, and we kind of texted about it too. And I'm pissed we can't find these pictures. So let's talk about the last time we really got to hang out, and I had to come pick your ass up,
Dude.
So it was Barber, 14 years ago, almost to the day. Like, so it was 9/9/11, and we're on 9/5. 2025. So what?
Dude, you have such a better memory than me.
No, I went to the calendar.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I was like,
this
dude,
got
this
a gnarly
is close.
memory.
Well, because I remembered also it was Opie's birthday on 9/11.
Yep.
And it was 10-year anniversary of 9/11. And the next day I started the company that I'm with now,
That's right.
I forgot to tell you the ground rules, but we don't talk about the company I work with now.
Yeah.
I separate that from what I do, mainly because they'd probably fire me for this. But
Fuck it.
nobody at my work knows I do this.
I'm calling.
So
Where's HR?
So yeah, I'm an HR nightmare. I'll go ahead and tell you that now. All right, so 9/9/11, almost 14 years ago, I'm at a practice. It's Friday, and I get a call. I think it was from your mom, and she's like, "I need you to go. Are you at Barber? Can you pick up Jake with your big van?" And in fact, just to give people an idea of what my van was, let's move this over to here and explode that.
Look at that thing.
Yeah, this was the creeper van.
That is a neighborhood's worst nightmare.
Yeah. So this was a 01 GMC 3500 extended van, which I could fit 15
Honestly, in good
people.
shape.
It was in pretty good shape.
Honestly, good shape, because if it was worse, I would definitely be a little bit more scared. But like, you might be able to get into a nicer neighborhood with that.
So I bought the thing blown up for $1,500 and had a new motor put in it. That thing ran great. So yeah, I think I still left the front row in. So the way I had it set up was you had the 2 seats, you had a bench seat that could sit basically 5 easy, and then you could fit 3 dirt bikes, 2 forward, 1 backwards. You could stack all the gear bags on the seats, and it could fit it all perfect. I was like, perfect little moto van. All right. So I had to go pick you up. You had the R6. You had enough parts piled around the R6 and on top that the whole back of the van was completely full. And I was like, when I got there, I was like, I don't know if we can fit all this in
I
there.
remember your eyes were like, dude, you didn't tell me you had all this shit.
Yeah.
I think I ended up sitting on a bucket, like in between.
No, you were in between Josh and I.
On a 5-gallon bucket.
You were on the ground, I thought.
Was I?
Yeah, you were just like a little squirrel.
Yeah, I was tucked in there, dude. I was just talking.
Which I'm pretty sure I slammed on the brakes one time to make you smack your face on the dash. Which is not the first time I've done that to somebody.
Yeah, hey,
but
I've done it.
But I felt like you had 4 or 5 other guys.
Dude, we did.
I've never had that thing so packed out before.
So yeah, we
Do you remember who all was with you?
Man, I can't. So it was a guy that ran the Hooters team for the endurance race. His name was, I think it's Jonathan, and he ran the team, and then he did Mousebox Racing the year after, which then I think the following year, or maybe even that year, me and Lewis were teammates on it. Like me and Lewis, and actually I think had rode, and then Gillum rode like 1 round with me on the Hooters bike, and we were gonna do Gillum, but I think he ended up not wanting to do it or something. He had something going on. There was one of his buddies which I ended up getting really close with, and dude, and just like I think it's like random buddy of his or something like that. And I remember like we had worked on the bike all night before, and I had like stayed at his house, and I'm just sweating. I'm like, dude, am I even gonna make it to this fucking race? Like, we gotta go practice, and like I knew my stuff was gonna get there, like because my dad was showing up like next day, but like we wanted to try to get some practice on that bike, and I was just sitting there and I was like texting my mom, like, dude, we haven't even left. It's like fucking midnight. Like, what are we doing? They're still working on this bike at like this in their shop, and
So that was the day before.
dude, yeah, we had been like up. They had been like up all night, like working on this bike, trying to get ready to go like run practice. Which, like, if you think about it now, you're like, probably not the best idea. But like you think about it, like even at the crew chief, so like when we raced and we destroyed a bike the day before, like the dudes are wrenching on that shit all night if they have to. So I think it was like 2, 3 in the morning. We like slept for like 2 hours, got up, hauled ass to Barber, and I remember like being asleep in the back of this truck, and I remember just hearing "Rrrr," and I like got up, and by the time I could say something, dude, we just hit a fucking guardrail, like head onto
So the
this
guys fell asleep
dude
on
fell
the
asleep,
way.
dude, and I had like tried to yell at him like in time to get him to like, and he had just ripped through a fucking guardrail, dude. Luckily, like nobody was like involved, and like we had just fucked up this truck, and like nobody
Dude,
got
it was
hurt.
destroyed. And I remember it was like like early 90s
OBS,
F-150 or F-350. Yeah.
Old
I remember
F-250.
it was like dark blue and gray or silver
Yeah, it was
or
a
something like that.
Yeah,
Either it was still there or I saw the pictures.
yeah,
And I just remember being like, how the fuck are you guys still alive?
dude.
Because it was gnarly of a crash.
Probably one of the craziest things I've ever like witnessed racing going to like a track, like by far. Like I think my parents were like, we're gonna take him everywhere from now on.
So here's another little trippy thing about it. What if you actually had died at that point and this from here on out, you've just been in a simulation? This has been
Hey, it's
what
been
you thought it was going to
been
be.
pretty wild.
Yeah.
Been pretty wild,
What if-
actually.
I just wanted to trip you out a little bit and see if it would maybe be like, wait, what?
if? No, yeah, dude, it was gnarly. And then yeah, I remember I had like called a couple people, and I was like, and then I think I had got a hold of you, and then my mom had got a hold of you, and you were like, yeah, dude, drop me your pin or like send me your location. It was
if
at
you
like
remember-
this shitty junkyard.
If you remember, I crashed that day too. So I wadded up in turn 2 following Parker, and my bike was destroyed as well. So
Yeah.
I felt like my practice might have got ended early, and I remember being like, fuck am I going to do? And then got the call and was kind of like, it kind of woke me up out of like the, what the hell? Like
Yeah,
I'm
let me go.
racing in 2 days, because I wasn't racing on Saturday, I was racing on Sunday, but I wanted to get practice in. And it almost kind of was like, like, okay, I've got
Superhero.
something I need to go do. And I remember like getting back, and I can't remember if I feel like I didn't say it beforehand, but I got back and she's like, your mom was like, what can I give you for this? I was like, what, some gas? I don't know.
Yeah.
And I was like, tire? Maybe a takeoff tire? And they gave me a tire. I never put the tire on my
No
bike.
shit.
never did another race after
Really?
that race. That was the last one I had done.
That's crazy.
So it was just funny that I was like, I don't know. Like I was going to help a buddy out kind of thing.
Dude, what a road trip though. I think we were talking about it a second ago, dude. We had like your pit board. I was like looking through your van. I was like, what do you got in here, man? And you just me and me, dude. You know my person.
Motocross pit board.
Dude, motocross pit board, we're like drawing on it, like, hey, show us your tits. We're like throwing it out the window, trying to get, like, we're in traffic. Because, you know, like, every time you go to Barber, dude, there's like traffic.
Always.
It's just
Yep.
the worst time. So, dude, that was, yeah, I appreciate that. Cause
And I'm pretty sure we weren't just showing it to females to show me
No,
your tits.
dude,
We were
we had it
probably
out to
showing it
everybody.
to guys.
just
and
talking mad
whatever.
shit. Yeah, we had to. Yeah.
You've got a tiny wiener.
Yeah.
Just to have fun.
What a hoot.
Yeah. It turns out, if you just never grow up, you still have the same mentality. I still do. The
Yeah,
same
I was going
shit,
to say,
pretty
I'm
much,
the
so.
same way.
I don't know if you picked up on that.
No,
since-
fuck it. Gotta live.
Oh, apparently I read your sister's thing. She said nose, not your ass, your nose.
Oh, up my nose.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've done that. Probably made me do it as a kid, honestly.
I read
She
it.
was,
I read it right, but I said it that way, and I wanted to see if she'd be like, "No, it's nose." That's exactly what.
Oh,
happened.
yeah, no, she's pretty brutal. Yeah, when I was growing up, yeah, she was brutal.
Which, by the way, I tried to message her to get some stories, and she's got her Facebook where creepers can't come up
Yeah.
and message direct because it
Probably
was
you.
like you can't send this person messages. I was like, well,
Fuck you.
jeez.
Probably she probably knew you were coming.
Yeah.
14 years later.
I doubt she would remember me.
Ugh.
All right, so I feel like the barber story, we've told all the things that we were gonna tell with it. But do you actually, yeah, so you said the guy with the Hooters, but there was like 3 or 4 other guys. Like, where do you remember who they were
They were
connected
like
to,
buddies
or-
of them, and like one of the guys, he ended up like the last year of race super bikes. He ended up kind of helping out like that kind of like whole team of like a couple guys. They kind of helped, and Jake Lewis's old crew chief Trice actually came onto the team with us that year and tried to help. I had like it was the year after I got hurt at Daytona, but I cannot remember their names, dude. I'm just like I'm so bad for names.
Why did you hit your head
Just a few times, just a few times, you know.
Honestly, my wife's worse than me. With
Really?
her concussions.
Oh,
She had a major one. It was good stuff.
Yeah, I had one not long ago, riding motocross, and ended up collapsing my lung like a couple years ago.
Motorcycles are dangerous. You
Dude,
should
You
stay
should probably
off them.
stay off
Yeah.
of 'em.
I mean, the last time I got hurt was Christmas Eve when I broke my wrist. You know, like
Yeah,
Tuesday.
you would think I would slow down. Yeah.
No, and I was thinking about it. Like, I'm up at the gym like 3 days a week at like 4:45, and I'm exercising and doing stuff, and I'm just like, and I've got like 50-year-old women that can do the
The same weight?
exercise properly. No, like just like feet movement kind of things, and I'm like, I can't do a double foot jump one way or the other. I have to do one foot to minimize the impact
I
kind
can
of
see
thing.
you doing the little like what's the one where they do the little glutes, kind of get your ass bigger or something. Is that what they're just beating your
I
ass
don't
on?
know the name of what you're talking about, but that's funny.
Yeah, I can see you in there
I know what you're
hitting some
talking about.
reps,
Yeah.
looking back at them and stuff.
Yep. Oh, that's good. I'm gonna have to remember what the name of that thing is.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
shit, that's funny.
I could see it.
All right, so here's some of the stuff that your mom gave me.
All right.
So we're on to that. We're not talking shit. I'll ask him about the pinky. We'll get to that soon. Talon Thomas mentioned
That's
something
my
about that.
little nephew.
And then also there were some other things that were. Robert Freeman said that he's my idol. I don't know if
It's
this
one
is
of my
like a
good buddies.
stalker.
Nah, it's one of
Is it
my
a
good
weird
buddies.
Stalker? You
Nah,
sure?
one of my good buddies.
I don't know.
I was
That's
scared.
kinda weird.
I started sending it to him. I was like, man, maybe I shouldn't. These dudes will literally shit talk me all
Look,
day.
any of these guys can call in.
That's
The
what I told him.
numbers on the screen right
I
now.
literally told him, I was like, dude,
Oh,
this
shit,
dude loves
you know
shit
what?
talking.
I'm glad I said that. Did I start the thing? I had to make sure I didn't turn off disable. Nope, it's not disabled. So we're good to go.
Oh, yeah, dude.
That was
I
one
have
thing
some
I didn't
buddies, and
check.
I was like, maybe I shouldn't send this to because they literally will just
Call in and
shit talk,
roast you. Dude,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
got some good stories.
They got stories for me like on the Harley or just like stupid shit, dude. Like just things we get into.
Is it anything to do with Look That Way?
I don't even want to know.
Is it anything to do with this?
Dude, gnarly.
I just want to know. Look at that.
So if you want to be honest with you, I didn't even take the shot off of it. I just poured it.
So who did the shot?
The girl on the right. It was her birthday, and I was pretty hammered that night. I ended up stealing the karaoke mic the rest of the night and was singing Shania Twain.
Why don't you go ahead and sing, like, give us an example?
Dude, I don't know if you want all that. Yeah, so I ended up.
I wish I knew country, so I could be like, no, give me this song. dude. I don't know shit for country
Shania Twain,
songs.
dude. That's my girl, like through and through. But yeah, I talked her into doing a little shoot out the belly button.
Did she like actually floss with the teeth that she?
No,
or the
dude,
hairs that
that's
she
a
pulled
hairy
out?
dude. That's one of my boys, Emery. He's a freaking hoot, dude. But you can pretty much get him. I think one night we got really drunk on like a New Year's Eve party, and I shaved a Harley Davidson logo into his chest hair, and he like woke up the next day and he was like, "Appreciate it." I was like, "Let me know when you want to get that thing touched back up." I think I tried to touch it back up. We ended up getting hammered like a couple like weeks later, and I tried to like get him to let me touch it back up. Was
Didn't
just
work
not
out.
in the same vibe.
All right. So speaking of country songs, so how about the? Your mom was telling me a story where you and a country singer in the Red Bull tent because you guys had the same haircut.
Dude, yeah.
Alright, so do you remember who it was?
Keith Urban.
There you go.
Keith Urban, dude. So Indianapolis, 2008, we were racing, and it's funny, dude, because I think it was, I don't know if it was that round or another round. Michael Jordan. So like Red Bull keeps their like canopies like super like VIP. Like if you don't have a credential, they're like it doesn't matter if you're like the president, dude. You're not getting in that thing. It seems like. And Michael Jordan tried to get in there. We ended up having to get him in there. Like we're like, dude, you know who this is? He's like, I know who it is. I'm like, you got to let him in. So we like ended up letting him in. When he, because he had a race team and everything.
Yeah.
And but no, Keith Urban had been like looking for me. I guess somebody had like was like, you gotta find this dude. Like he's like your lookalike. And I had like long hair. You remember like back in the
You'll call him Mini Me kind of thing.
Do you remember like back in the early 125 days? I had just super long hair, like to my shoulders. No.
No, because we didn't meet until
Yeah, yeah.
2009.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I probably, dude, it's crazy because I think 08 or 09 I had like shaved it off. I like went straight to it, and the reason I did is Kevin Swantz, the girl he was dating at the time, made me cut my hair because it's funny. But we ended up that's a side thing for that, but he like came up, met me, dude, and he was like, I just heard that you have like you're like a fan of me, like you like my music, and like we have the same hair, dude, and we had like a side by side picture which we can never find, but like my
I was
mom.
gonna say I tried to
My
find
mom
it too.
has one with him, and my aunt has one with him, and I'm like, how do I not have mine? Like, out of all people, like like racing. But yeah, he was a cool dude. He's like big into motorcycle racing. But it's crazy. Like, I think about all the stars that are like really into like motorcycle racing. Like Channing Tatum, like he helped with he like sponsored Josh with like the vodka
Yeah.
thing. Like a bunch of other racers, and they're like, what is it? Keanu Reeves has got the one team now.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah, I was talking with Dave Cutler, and he was telling me how he's kind of gotten him into that.
It's crazy, man. Like a lot of like stuff. I think at like 1 year, I think it was back at last round of 08, like Tom Cruise was at Laguna Seca when we were there. It was crazy,
God,
man.
I want to ride that track.
Dude, such a sick track.
All right, which is better though, Barber or that?
Dude, I don't know, man. It's just the different element. I love Barber, dude. That is like one of my favorite tracks. Like that, and I honestly, if I could race Indy again, like Indy, I loved like the flat surface tracks, but it was just so fast and like just wide open, like on a 125, dude. Like you were just screaming the whole time, and it was just big. It just seemed like everything was wide open almost. And that's a hard one.
I feel like for me with Laguna Seca, it's been around way longer than Barber, and it's iconic with the turn and this other stuff, to where it's almost like the Glen Helen kind of thing.
Yeah.
I want to race it, but I probably would get there and be like, this sucks. But I've raced Barber, and like this is cool. But also it cracks me up. You get so many people that are like, I can't stand Barber, all these blind turns. Coming from motocross, everything's blind.
Yeah,
You
you're
know,
like, I love
so
it.
I'm like, this is great. Yeah, I don't care what's on the other side. I know where I need to point. You know,
That was
Screw it.
Sonoma out in California, dude. I hated that track. It was just nothing but blind corners. When I tell you, I would never ride there ever again. I like, if you could be like, yeah, you're gonna get a ride this year, go race Sonoma. I'd be like, nah,
Yeah,
cool.
I'm good.
I'm good, man. But you're like Barber Motorsports, Road Atlanta, or like a couple other tracks. Like even like I saw they race Mid Ohio recently. I love Mid Ohio, dude.
Mhm.
Mid Ohio was just super cool. It's one of those just like fun. I just like a flowy track, you know. And I just Laguna just never seemed very flowy to me. It was more like one of those tracks that was just like, I think the hype was the corkscrew for
Yep.
me, and I just like it's
After you go through the corkscrew, you're like,
it's like one
that
time
was
on a
it?
roller coaster, you're like,
it's like
cool.
losing your virginity.
That
That
That was it,
Yeah.
dude. I had 3 seconds. That was it.
In and out of the turn.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
I
we're
mean,
here.
yeah. But it was a cool track. I mean, I think we tested there when I rode for Red Bull, and I just did not do very well, and I hated it.
Yeah.
And then we raced, I think 1 or 2 rounds there, and then I think what I hated it the most is in the Red Bulls Cup, you got to be in the top like 10 or 12 points to go to Spain, and I had already hurt myself, so I missed VIR with after hurting my hand, and I blew my motor with like 2 or 3 laps to go, and I had a good finish, like a position, and just like couldn't go to Spain. So I think I just have like a hate for that track. now.
Oh.
Just have a serious hate for that
I was
track.
because Chris talked about going to Europe
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
Chris.
never got to get it.
No, I
Yeah.
missed it by like I think it was like 2 points, dude. I was
Oh.
so pissed. Yeah.
That would suck.
Yeah.
All right. So one other thing that she had talked about was she said the name, but I forgot it. And literally, I was taking a shit when she called me, and I'm jotting this down. Like
Had
my
it-
stomach
had low
was
pitch,
jacked up.
tryna, like,
Oh my
talk.
god, my stomach was jacked up. Sorry, Julie, but like you'd find out this way. But yeah, she had mentioned about a Mercedes You at 14, driving around California.
So,
All right, so tell us that one because she was cracking up.
so we used to have a sponsor, Rich DeBarton. He actually raced, if you remember, like Young Guns Racing back in the day.
I heard of it. Yeah.
So it was one of my buddies, Corey Reck, my buddy Josh Cook, who like I had raced with from like pocket bikes on. We still like I like send him pictures of me like on the podium beating him like randomly through the year. I'm like, you remember this? He's like, good days. And then he'll send me like a picture like where he beat me like the next thing, and he's holding the #1 plate, and he's like, good days, huh? And I'm like, damn, you did get me there. But
That's pretty awesome.
we ended up this guy like I met him on the 125 days, and then when I went to he like kind of like sponsored all of us and helped us all go to the Rookie Cup tryout, and I was like me and Corey were the only two that made the team, and he just traveled with us, man. He had like a motorhome, and he used to race motocross for like a small Yamaha team, and he had lost his leg, so he had just sponsored us, like he just for the love of racing, and but he was just, dude, he didn't give a shit. Like we would go race up or ride up in Talking Rock, and like he would give us like his keys to his car and just like drive. So we get out in California, and he's just like faking like he's tired or some shit. We just come back from dinner. Like we just bought like or rented out like a nice Mercedes out in like Sonoma, and he like throws me the keys. He's like, Jake, he's like, just drive out of the parking lot. We're gonna go to Starbucks right up here at the road. So like we hit the Starbucks. He's just like a Starbucks fanatic, dude. And I'm like, all right. So I like throw it and park in the parking spot. And he's like, nah, man, just keep going. So dude, we're just like ripping down the highway in California. And I'm like 14 years old, dude. I think I was like 4'8" at the time, like stuffing jackets under me, and was just like, drive us. And I just drove us back to the hotel, like ripping in this Mercedes, like. And then it's funny because like I had gotten through the whole weekend. I ended up driving like a bunch. And right the day we were leaving, he backs into this like drained out pond at the hotel, puts a dent in it, and we like my dad ended up having to like hairspray and like heat gun it and get the paint to pop back out, and like we took it back up and they didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But it was funny, like I had made it all weekend driving it, like, you know, a few times, and the day we like back out, he like backs out to this like little fountain.
Yeah, everything's fine until the last final day. It's funny you said, because my buddy Brandon was working at like Enterprise at a time where this bitch sideswiped me in my V-dub like at 12 a.m. and tried to run for me with her 3-year-old grandson in the back on Thornton Road. And so, yeah, the car's getting fixed. I got like a Brindle or whatever. So, of course, it's the day I got to turn it in. And I'm literally in the back of my neighborhood just e-braking shit. And I ended up going too far and like hitting a rock and getting it in. And then Brandon, I was like, dude, like this front bumper is just dented in big time. And he's just like, oh, it's not that bad. Zip, zip, zip. Bam, bam, bam. Punches the thing back out. Perfect. Didn't notice the thing.
You got tricks.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, racing, like, you have so many crazy stuff like that. I remember we were jumping in the hotel one time when I was racing, like, supermotos, and, like, somebody had done a flip through, like over, like, the twin beds or whatever we were at, and, like, put a hole in the wall. My dad was so pissed. He was like, dude, he's like, what the hell is wrong with you guys? And, like, he's in there, like, fixing it, because, you know, he does construction, so he's in there, like, fixing it, throwing tape on the back, and he got it, like, pulled tight. And he was like, I guess we're just going to see what happens. And, like, we never got called.
Never heard anything.
Dude, we have, like, things like that all the time, dude. Like, you grew up through racing where you're just, like, getting kicked out of hotels or just stupid stuff like that.
I feel like the generation's kind of lost on that. Like, I don't know if it's just because we're not around it and there's plenty of those things happening, but I feel like,
yeah,
I don't know. The shit isn't as wild as it used to be.
Dude, it's crazy.
Thing, right?
Like, I remember growing up, like, coming to races, like, the Superbike race at Road Atlanta, and, like, dude, just tits everywhere. Like, it didn't matter where you were, dude. And I was just, like, a kid. And you know me, I'm just a stupid kid. I'm, like, going back, tell my mom about it, and, like, get my dad in trouble and shit and his buddies. And they're like, what? So your son said that he, like, this chick had her tits out and was, like, rubbing them on top of this cop car? And he's like, Jake, come on, man. And, like, they still give me hell to this day, dude. Like, I remember, like, I just telling some of my buddies, like, even when we go up there to watch the Superbike races and stuff, I'm like, dude, y'all don't even know, dude. Like, yeah. The era, like, I came up with, like, racing with people, like, it was so wild. Like, I feel like now social media is so big that, like, there's some guys that are starting to do it now because they're just like, fuck it. Like, that's the new, like, kind of stand out kind of thing. But yeah, then those guys are getting kicked out of shit. Yeah. And, like, banned from going to those places. Oh, yeah. It's like, back then we had, like, Blackberries, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, We were using Blackberries.
iPhone 1.
iPhone 1s, like, dude, yeah, like Blackberry was the big thing because like a lot of the guys that were going to Europe and like racing around, like you did, like Blackberry had the Messenger, so you could just talk through that.
Yeah.
So it was like the new iMessage nowadays.
Not hurting your minutes.
Yeah. With that, exactly, without hurting your minutes.
All right. So also something about you driving a tractor trailer with a 40-foot trailer, like 13.
Same thing, dude. Rich. So we had raced GNF or something at Barber, I think it was, and we were headed. I think we were headed back home or going to eat dinner or whatever after the races, and dude, that's what Rich would do. He'd just be like, "Jake, I gotta go to the bathroom." He's like, "Come up here and grab the wheel," and I like first time I was doing, it, I was like, "Dude, I've never driven a motorhome." He's like, "Just keep it between the lines, you'll be fine."
So it wasn't a tractor trailer.
So it was a Freightliner front end.
Oh, with the
sleeper in the back, like the full sleeper in the back,
Yeah.
and then it had the double stack trailer.
Yeah.
And dude,
So it was.
oh yeah, it's basically it was a Freightliner,
Yeah.
like model. And dude, yeah, I come blown by my dad and them on the highway, and they're like looking at him like hitting the horn, and they're like calling him, they're like, "What is our kid doing driving?" He's like, "He'll be fine." Like I remember one time we were back in the 125 days when I was riding for the Rookies Cup. We went up to Wisconsin for Road America, and he was like, "Jake, I'm getting tired. Let me come out there and sit for a minute." So I'm like, it's pouring down raining, dude.
Oh god.
Dude, pouring down raining. I'm like, 13, 14, driving this thing, and a car hydroplanes in front of me, dude. And my mom's sitting next to me, screaming. She's like, "What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?" And he's like, "Just keep it still." He's like, "You got it."
Just hit the car. Just go through it.
Dude, they end up just like,
Honestly, the best thing to do at that point
yeah, he
too.
was just like, let out. He's like, and just see what happens. Like, you're either gonna hit him or not hit him. And he's like, then I'll just run up there and get the wheel, I guess. Like, because I mean, we were just gonna push him. You know what I mean? It was so wet. And dude just ended up sliding off the road, and we like missed him. And he's like, "See, you're good. Just get back in it." And she like yelled at him for like 15, 20 minutes to get back up there and finally start driving, dude. And I think he finally like got up there and drove. But dude, yeah, he trusted us so much. Like I think he was just one of those dudes like core memories. Like, let's just do it. Like, you know what I mean?
Which is so funny because you're gonna keep that with you for the rest of your life. And also, I think part of him is like, all right, this kid can race fast as hell.
That was his motto. Like, he was like, dude, if he could race
you can
at
handle
100
it.
plus mile an hour,
Yeah.
like he sure as hell can drive a car. Like,
I remember my old boss, actually the chick that got us the ticket. So her dad was a owner of a cow dealership I worked at in Florida, and she's got an older sister that never rode dirt bikes, but she raced. Like, I think she went to Loretta's at one year too.
oh, shit.
And she even said, like, I'm not worried about when she gets a car. I'm worried about the older sister when she gets a car, because at least I know she has control. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a little bit of that to it. And then also oh God, I was kind of rambling to try to get my mind thought with it. Oh no, I was gonna say, dude, do you know if you somehow got pulled over in it, how much shit you would get in?
Oh,
I've got a
dude.
Class A CDL,
Ruined.
and I know all
Well,
the
I think
regulations.
because of the
and rules.
Freightliner, because it was a motorhome, he didn't have to have like a certain license. Like, it was, I think with certain things with motorhomes, you don't have to have like certain license.
Okay, so but still with that trailer, I thought it would.
I don't know.
equal
I
that.
think because like something with pulling with a motorhome or something. I could be wrong.
No, I mean, I had a Class A motorhome until it got freaking totaled in March after day in the dirt. But you could have that and like a 40-foot
Only so
trailer,
much weight.
and you're okay.
Yeah.
But what I think a lot of times it makes it where you have to have a CDL is when if you're making money with it, it's commercial. So that's really where it breaks into that.
yeah.
But for a race team, that really should have been commercial.
Oh,
So
for
that's
sure.
what I was thinking.
For
with
sure.
that
I
kind
think
of
that's
thing.
why he put some logos on it, but like he always had like not for hire, like non-DOT on there.
Yeah,
so
you
like
can get away with it with the
so he
not for hire
pulled. I think he
things.
pulled it with that,
Yep.
and that's how he's able to do it.
It's pretty funny. The only reason I got my Class A, I had my Class B since like 2011, and I found out that they were going to make it where you had to go to a school to get a Class A. So I wanted a Class A for whenever I'm like retired or my kid's gone to like go drive one of the race rigs for one of the race teams. So I was like, well, let me go get it. So I studied for like 4 days and then went and passed the test. Like I just studied the questions for like an hour every day. I was like, I just got to hunker down
Dude,
and get it figured out.
Speaking of license, my dad, I'm surprised he hasn't like brought this up, dude. So I went to go, like racing. Like my dad was like, "You're never riding on the road." Like, Don't even think about getting a super bike to put on the road. Nothing. And
Yeah.
then I got
Opie still doesn't have a motorcycle license.
dude. So I didn't have one forever, right? But I still try to go get a learner's just to like try to be somewhat legal because we were going to bike week. My dad and them were trying to get me to go to bike week. So I never like actually took the motorcycle course. I went to go, and something happened that we couldn't do it. And so I was like, fuck it, let's just go home. But I went to take the actual test for the learners.
Please tell me you bombed it.
Dude, I bombed it. I bombed it, dude. And it was like a weird question, and I think I thought of it as like a race. And it just was not the right answer. And I like had missed it by like, I mean, nothing. Like, and I showed back up at the house, and like my dad was like, "So, you get it?" And I was like, "Dude, I bombed it." He was like, "How did you bomb this thing?" So he gave me shit, dude. I'm sure he still gives me shit to this day. But yeah, I bombed it, and the only reason I had gotten one is I had got forced into it. I had gotten pulled over by a GSP on my Harley on the way home, and I didn't have like taillights or something, and like he had like pulled me over, and I had my truck had gotten stolen the night before. And so like I kind of used it as an excuse why I didn't like realize like I didn't have taillights or something on it. And he was like, "All right, well go get this thing fixed." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll go get it." And then I end up one of my buddies ended up having to take a rider's course at Harley. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'll just go with you." And my brother-in-law had bought a Harley, and I guess when you buy a Harley, you get a free like pass for it to learn. But I had already taught my brother-in-law how to do it, and he already took a class, and like they let him go through. So I had like snuck in somehow to get into it for free. Went to this class, and like I showed up, and like everybody's kind of like worming it, you know what I mean? And I like show up, and they're like, "Why are you here?" I was like, so I didn't get a ticket. And he was like, "Got it, noted."
Yeah.
So like I basically had to go get a license, but dude, I had one forever because of that. But yeah, if it weren't for that cop, I would probably still not have like a motorcycle license to be riding around.
Yeah, I remember Opie started working with me at Freedom, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you finished that bike? Go ahead and take it for test ride." He's like, "I can't do that." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I don't have a motorcycle license." Like, you're a professional fucking road racer. What do you mean you don't have a license? He's like, "Yeah, I don't ride on the street. Ride on the track."
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" Like, that blew my mind.
Oh yeah, dude, it's
So-
crazy. Like I think just a lot of racers just don't ride on the street. That's
Yeah.
like the thing. That's like a big no-no. You know what I mean? Like even like I remember growing up, like that was the thing. It was like no motocross. You're not riding motocross. We watched too many people get hurt and like lose rides and stuff that way. Like
Yeah,
don't do it.
I'm glad that worked for you.
Yeah, yeah. After I started riding a lot of moto and started getting a lot more hurt, and now I see why we couldn't do it growing up racing.
Yeah. No, it's funny because like I'd ridden street bikes since I was 15, like legally, like on the road. Got my permit actually as soon as I could, and rode street bikes all the way up, and then did my first track day. I remember everybody before doing the track day working at Marmo was like, "You're not gonna ride on the street again." I was like, "Bullshit. No, I didn't have a desire to ride on the street anymore."
Oh no,
Like,
that's what people ask me. They're like, "Dude, would you ever buy a sport bike?" I'm like, "Dude, to me, they just don't belong on the street."
no, you can't do like what
can't-
you
it's
want to
not
do.
fun.
What's funny as shit about that is the people the customers that we dealt with at Marmo and other dealerships I've worked with, where they thought they were badasses with what they were doing on the street.
Oh, yeah.
And then after you go to track day, you're like, you're not using 40% of what that thing can do.
Yeah, they're
So no
getting
matter-
screamed by a dude, and they're like shivering when you come by them at like a buck
like
80.
they finally go to a track day and they're just like, "Huh?" It's like Ricky Bobby. Was that the other bikes? You
Yeah,
know,
dude,
like
it's
yeah,
two different
it's
paces.
crazy how different it
It's
is.
two different paces.
And then for me, like maybe with like a cruiser, but like I went and got like a hyper motard. My wife got a speed triple at one point. We maybe put 100 miles on it in like 3 years because we're like, this isn't the same. You know?
you end up
Like,
in jail trying to ride it the way you want to ride it.
yeah, or dead,
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
or in the sling.
yeah,
You know,
that too,
when in the church parking lot doing wheelies and shit, whatever.
dude.
Let's elaborate on that a little bit more. Let's talk about what happened
Oh
on Tuesday.
man,
So
yeah. So I've been doing some stuff on the Harley. Dude, I hadn't touched a bike really. It's so crazy because people would be like, "You raced for so long and you just walked away from racing and just like didn't look at a bike." Like, I mean, dude, I telling you, I didn't look at a bike. Like 2012 ended it, was racing mountain bikes, kind of doing all that stuff for a little bit, and that was fun. Never wanted a bike, like never desired to ride one on the road. Didn't care to like go ride moto or anything. I think I just was like, from the time I raced, I kind of got I wouldn't say burnt out. Like after like racing, I was just kind of like fuck the sport kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had no desire. Like if somebody like I would pull up at a party like, oh, this dude knew how to ride. I'm like, no, I don't know how to ride. Like I don't know what that is. I don't even know how to start the thing. Kind of
Like just burnt out at that point.
yeah, I was just like, dude, I don't even want to touch the bike. Like, and my dad and his buddy and my uncle had gotten some motorcycles, and Dwayne, that's what my dad right now. He had an SV650, and they just wanted me to ride so bad in like 2016, and I was like, let's do it. So like we went and got it, and I rode it around, dude. And let me tell you, I had the time of my life on the SV650. Like there'd be like some roads that like
SVs are fun,
dude, and I was never like just like doing like stupid like sport bike guy stuff on the road. Like my fun was like I'd be like coming up to like an intersection like in the turn lane, and I would just start backing it in. Like that was fun for me. Like I had so much fun. Like my dad would be like, dude, I know what road you were on. I was like, oh yeah. He's like, yeah. He's like, your marks are there. Like just backing in, just having the time of my life on this thing, dude. And I still like I do it on the Harley now. Like it's just so fun for me. And yeah, that's how I ended up on the Harley like in 2017. And my buddy Josh Cook that used to race super bikes, he got into like the Harley stunt scene like around like 2015 to like 2017, and like I had been like, yo, let me ride this thing. And he's like, dude, once you do it, you're gonna buy one. I'm like, dude, I'm not riding a fucking Harley. Like that shit's gay. Like, let's be honest. And,
so you're gay, basically.
Yeah, I'm basically gay now. Yeah.
Liking nuts and shit.
Yeah. And I started like, cause the dude could wheelie, dude. Like dirt bikes, everything. Like, and he could ride a motocross bike. He was fast on a super bike, you know. And I like rode it for a day. I was like, I could get down with this. Like, this is kind of fun. So I went out and bought one. And then kind of got into the Harley stunt scene stuff, and I didn't realize how big it was, and it's gotten so big now.
It's big,
dude. It's huge.
Stokes and I were just talking about that last week.
Stupid huge, dude. Like they're doing the drifter cross. Like I ran an event beginning this year for the drifter cross stuff, and I actually got eliminated. It was like a single elimination round, but I remember riding against a guy that had like won one of the rounds like that year prior, and so yeah, me and my buddy were just ripping on the Harleys, and yeah, I was setting up for like a hand drag, and I don't know, dude. Something in the road I caught it like unsettled the bike, and I came down. And when I came down, it just kind of like just all that weight. I mean, just a 700-pound bike, and it just kind of just bitch slapped me to the pavement. And it's funny because he said he like slowed down to turn around to see where I was at, and he's like, I was already up running to the bike, picking it up, and like got it fired up, and it was just riding past him again. He's like, "You good?" I'm like, "I'm good, dude." Like, and I like didn't say anything. I just kind of like I was like, I think my shoulder's just a little hurt, but like I was like, no road rash, nothing. Like I mean, you saw like I'm not even like skinned up. I'm like, I woke up the next morning, dude, and I always like ever since I've heard,
you know when you're like you've been hurt enough. I don't know how many times that I've been like text my wife or called her. I'm like, hey, I blew my ACL, and she's like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm sure. Hey, I broke my wrist. Are you sure? Yes. Broke my collarbone. You sure? Yeah. Why are you asking me this? I know I'm sure. I've been through this shit.
Oh yeah. So I get home and he's like, I pull my shirt off and he's like, you look straight. He's like, everything looks good. And I'm like, all right, cool. So like, I'm like, maybe I'm just a little sore. Dude, I woke up the next morning and I couldn't even pick my arm up, and I was like, yeah, I think I did something.
Yeah.
I did something for sure. And so I went to the Tuesday. Luckily I'm doing a job like 8 minutes from my house right now, and I'm finishing up. And there's a Piedmont like old urgent care like right there. So like as soon as they open, I'm like rolling in.
Which sucks for those because you have to be like, yeah, I was on a bicycle and I fell.
You can't
say that you're on a motorcycle.
Yeah, because
then it's ER.
Dude, it's stupid. Yep. Yeah. And they're like, oh, did you get a concussion? Are you doing this? And I'm like, I usually know when like I hit my head, I'm like, I need to go check this out. I've hit my head enough times where like I'm like, I probably need to go get a concussion check or something. And
I love filling out the please list your previous surgeries, injuries, broken bones, and you're just like,
you have to lie to them sometimes.
Well, no, I just fill it out, and then they're just like, what the hell? I'm just like, yeah, that's everything.
I ended up getting a super cool doctor when I walked in. I obviously had to lie and stuff about like what happened and stuff, and he was like a trauma doctor, and I would like just start telling like war stories of my racing and stuff, and he was like just like so intrigued, dude. He was just like locked in.
You
Like
should have sent him the link to the show.
I should have. I should have. It's funny because like I have one doctor that I go to. Like even when I raced, when I broke my ankle, that I still go to. Like to this day, like I broke my ankle a couple years ago. Went to him, and he's just like, "How's the family?" Like he knows my dad. He knows like my nephew who's like playing sports and getting hurt. And he's just cool. And he like looks at me and he's like, "Yeah, you'll be all right." And like just walk up. Same thing. I roll in there. He's like, "Ah, you'll be all right." And he's like, just quit fighting the motorcycles. I'm like, yeah, I'll try.
So I think DC's your dad from what I figured out here. So he said, ask Jake about the ride back from Athens and the surprise door visit.
DC, that's my buddy. Probably Dalton. Athens?
Really? Because the way that they... Oh, wait. I know why. Because he said, that's my boy. The very first comment was, that's my boy.
Yeah,
so I was like, oh, that's
one of my really, really good buddies that he like
so
lives with
DC's
me.
not
At the,
your...
What was it? Athens?
Ask Jake about the ride back from Athens and surprise door visit.
Oh, dude, yeah. So we ended up riding out to Athens and we're all on the Harleys just having a good time, just being stupid. And I'm out of this gas station, just busting down like the nastiest like second gear rolling burnout, ripping back, doing some wheelies, and like, you know me. I mean, you've been around me, like even racing. Like I'm just, dude, that dude's probably seen my ass more than anybody in the entire world. I will like 100% just because I'm just.
This just keeps getting gayer and gayer.
Dude,
I'm just.
I'm
just.
That poor man, dude.
You know what? Now when I told you to meet me at Claremont Lounge, I said you asked for my address to the house. I said just Google Claremont
Dude,
Lounge.
it showed up at Swingin' Richards.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure this is like Swingin' Richards' place, dude. Like, I haven't been here before, but
yes, you have.
Dude, just fucking with him, and I think I was doing a wheelie, and I had like, and I've done it to so many people like randomly, like I'll like pull down my pants and do like stand ups, and like your shirt starts flapping, your ass hang out. Well, like this dude, we had like rolled by this dude, and he was not happy, bro. Like, and I was like already like doing a full stand up coming back from Athens, like with his brother-in-law and like him, and dude, they were laughing, and the dude like followed us back almost to my house. And I was living with my parents at the time, and like we had gotten home, dude. That's what's crazy. We had gotten home. I had ordered pizza, took a shower. Like we'd been at my house for like a minute, dude, right? I'm sitting at the couch and I hear, I'm like, sweet pizza's here. And my dad's like, what's the sheriff doing here? And I'm like, I was like, I got this. So the funny thing is, the dude knew my sister had, I guess they had gone to school together. And he like, kind of like, when he saw the name, he was like, you related to Ashley? And I was like, yeah. He's like, I know who you are. He was like, you can ride the shit out of a motorcycle. He's like, and he was cool as shit. He was like, just do that shit on back roads. Like, he was like, I can't say it was a he say, she said moment. He was like, they did say you're wheeling. He was like, it's a he said, she said moment. He was like, I just gonna need you to do that shit on the back road. And he was cool and just like left.
Let it go.
And I was just like laughing. And it's funny because like my dad and them have like these ponds in their backyard, like, or like in their neighborhood. And I ended up was like fishing where I didn't know this guy had bought this property, and I was illegally fishing on this dude's property. Same dude shows up and he's like, you get any trouble on any motorcycles lately? I was like, nah, I try to stay out of trouble on those. But he ended up having to give me like a citation for like a warning. He was like, damn, I gave you a ticket for some of the dumbest stuff ever. And he's like, didn't give you one for showed up to your house like 2 hours later.
So you get a citation for fishing on somebody's land.
Yeah.
But not doing a wheelie and showing your ass.
Yeah, yeah.
So
shout out for Dalton, dude. Really, he like, when I tell you that, man, I've known that dude for like, since I was probably like 19, 20, and I mean, for 10 years, that dude's seen my ass more than I'm telling you than anybody. Like, just fucking with people, just, and just being myself. Like,
I'm just appalled that you would do something like that. That's something
right?
I would
That's
never.
So childish.
Yeah, so childish. I would never do something.
Oh, 100%.
Like that.
I think I've seen some clips and some other stuff.
No, you've never seen me in a jean speedo or naked on people's bikes. You've not. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Not happen, sir. Doesn't happen.
I think you were just telling me you were going to do something with Chris Turner if you race this year in a speedo. Did you not?
Yeah, I was going to be. So the plan was Chris was supposed to race at Moto America at Road A. I got approved for a media pass, and I was literally going to be his umbrella girl wearing American flag T-shirt with a jean speedo. So
I did that. I think when the Milwaukee bikes, the 250s. For the Honda class, they did that like USGBRU round at Indy. Like I would think it was like 2009, 2010. I ended up doing something for Stefano Mesa, and I don't think I was racing, but I was there like trying to help him, and I think I had tied my shirt up on the grid, just messing with him. And he's like, you'd be my umbrella girl. I was like, yeah, I got you, dog. Cause like when you're racing, you just do it for your buddies, like just fucking around and stuff. And yeah, I had like tied my shirt up and stuff, and was sitting up on like a GP grid. Yeah, to be his umbrella girl.
Yeah, you've definitely never seen me
Dude, that's nice.
in a jean Speedo.
Ugh.
Right there. Look at that. That's basically what Chris was gonna get to be on his umbrella girl.
Dude,
right
I had
there.
to put some glasses on. Those legs were white, boy.
Oh, I thought you were saying just because you're gonna have to do something to hide your boner.
No, dude. Those legs are white. I'm like, I don't know if that's a screen glaring or that's just how white you are.
Yeah, I'll give you that extremely tan.
Yeah,
it's an Instagram filter to make it brighter. That's what it is. That's pretty funny.
Everybody else is dark in that picture, though.
Just so anybody wants to know about the calendar or any of these shenanigans, go back and watch episode 9 because it breaks down the whole calendar. Do you even know about the calendar?
I think you did tell me you like did a whole. Y'all did like a whole shoot for a calendar, right?
No, we've done it for like 4 years now.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
Yeah, basically somebody gets a bike and we break into their house and we get naked pictures on them. In fact, they got
I'm so
these
glad
ones.
you lived
This is
2 hours from me, so
this
you're not
is
sneaking in at
sneak
mine.
Sneak preview for you from the Colorado 500. That's Jeremy McGrath's bike.
Oh, that's
Scroll. Go left. Don't go right. You'll see something you don't want to see.
Hey,
You get
I
some
had to
more.
zoom in on that.
Yep.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
So that'll be next year's
Is he
calendar.
naked or is he actually?
No. Yes. We don't. Are you kidding me?
Dude, he
he
is.
naked? Yeah.
That's
Come on.
wild.
Yeah. That's how we roll.
I love it. That's awesome.
You got a boner. Hide it.
Oh.
All right.
That's why I wore the extra big shirt.
So, driving Mercedes, we got to that. Do you want to take a pee break before we get into the next thing?
Yeah, let's take
All
a
right.
little.
So
hot break.
we're gonna pay some bills real quick, people. I gotta actually find the show sponsors. We're gonna do that. We might be a little bit delayed because I'm gonna have to hold it for him. Which, oh god,
Did you forget your tweezers?
I didn't get the tweezers.
Damn it, dude! You forgot
Alright.
the tweezers.
All right, I'm gonna run fast because I can run because I'm not injured currently. And all right, so we'll be back. Don't want nobody to go anywhere.
Our next segment is brought to you by Hard Knocks Racing. They're a group of dedicated motorcycle enthusiasts since 1998. They're your go-to for Campfire Moto official gear. Soon launch an apparel line of their own. They excel in crafting all kinds of custom decals, like this badass sign behind me, from custom signs to full bus wraps and office customization. In fact, check out this work Anthony did at one of the well-known Japanese manufacturer's office who will remain nameless. They also crafted awards for prestigious events such as the Perry Mountain 24-hour race, Mill Creek Spring Classic, Deka Hair Scramble Series, and many more for local racetracks in the Southeast. Check out hardknocksracing.com or give Anthony D'Amico a call at 404-717-480.
Now it's time for some awesome tech tips.
Transform your comfort with Innovative Mechanical LLC, specializing in HVAC service for residential and commercial properties. They provide expert installation, maintenance, and repair. Their certified technicians ensure top-notch service, whether it's air conditioning, heating systems, or indoor air quality solutions. Serving Georgia since 1999, they prioritize customer satisfaction, prompt, reliable service at competitive rates, routine maintenance to emergency repairs. Trust Innovative Mechanical LLC for all your HVAC needs. Give them a call at 770-726-7407 or visit innovativemechanical.llc.com to schedule service and experience unparalleled comfort today. This show is brought to you by MX201 Track Designs, founded by Matt Shue, a former pro supercross and motocross racer who made a name for himself in the 90s and early 2000s.
There is two, the local favorite from LJ, Georgia, is in third. He goes down in the corner. He's no longer in third place.
MX201 Track Designs brings decades of hands-on expertise to the motocross world.
Matt's racing career took him across the globe, competing at the highest level and learning firsthand what makes a track not only fun, but challenging and safe. Since stepping away from racing, Matt has used his extensive knowledge to help design, build, and manage a variety of tracks in the Southeast. Locations like AMP MX, Highland Park Resort, and Synergy Cycle Park trust MX201, as he's earned a reputation for creating top-notch riding experiences. Whether you're dreaming of a custom public track, private motocross facility, or even a backyard woods loop for the kiddos, MX201 Track Designs offers solutions that are as unique as your vision, and he'll offer custom solutions that are tailored to your budget. Visit mx201trackdesign.com or call 678-628-4892 to get started on designing your perfect track today. And when you do, be sure to mention Campfire Moto Stories to Matt.
Squirrel! Like a Hungarian hamster?
and we're back. Hey. All right.
I wish everybody would have saw when I first got up here and you gave me that princess treatment and put my headphones on for me.
That was pretty funny.
That was
I
sweet of
didn't.
you.
What's funny about that is I didn't even realize I was doing it until you said something.
What a dad mode.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Man, what the hell?
I'm sure your wife's jealous because you probably didn't even do that.
No, she doesn't get jealous, but that's weird. There's like a weird out of focus thing going on with that camera. That's me.
It was you doing your exercising in between breaks.
Yeah, for whatever reason, whenever we came back to that, it was very blurry. Anyways. All right, so we're going to get back right into it, and we're going to go... We're going to go into one that I thought was hilarious. And in fact, when I saw this, I didn't realize that I'd seen it before and that it was you. And this goes along with Keith Turpin.
Keith Turpin?
Keith Urban. Sorry, not Turpin.
You're really on a country guy.
No. Well, Keith
Smooth
Turpin's
jazz.
a motocross racer.
Smooth jazz, huh?
Yeah. So I'm going to leave this on you, and we're not going to have the volume up yet, but I want you to...
The machines go over 125.
Dude. You know what's crazy is so many people try to find this thing, and like it's been shared through so many groups of my buddies, and I think a lot of people are like, "You should be so proud of it," but I don't know, dude. I just not that I hate it. I just like I don't know.
I would never in a million years have guessed that was you.
Dude, I was so young.
So before you came over, I showed my wife and kid that. I was like, the guy that's coming to do the show today, this is him in the commercial. And when it got to you, my wife goes, because it doesn't even look like you.
No, dude. I was...
So 08.
That would have been...
No, it was 08.
Beginning of 08, like January. So I was 12, 13.
All
I
right,
was probably 12.
Sense. Still just hiding nuts in your pockets and
dude,
all
long
kinds of
hair,
stuff, you know.
Hadn't hit puberty, it seemed like.
No.
Like little cracky voice.
I'm wondering when that's gonna happen still.
I'm still waiting on it, dude. I'm still waiting for it.
All right, so for those of you that don't know this, so Jake was in a Red Bull commercial in 2008 for the 125 class. And from what I understand, what your mom was telling me about it is basically the Red Bull people came up and they were like, hey, we want to use Jake for a commercial. And you were very quiet and soft-spoken at that point. And then she's like, my Jake? You sure you're not talking about Jake? And I don't remember what name that
there
she
was
said.
Jake Cunningham.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
who she said.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you're Jake. And I think what it was probably the hair.
It was the hair, dude. It was so weird. Like, so they didn't want you to wear like hats. They didn't want you like you had to wear the Red Bull hats that they gave you. Like, you know how they are. Like, you have to wear what they want.
Everybody has to look the same,
Dude,
just
yeah.
like the 50 riders kind of thing.
Exactly. And dude, I would run these Alpine Star hats all the time, and I would just go get like different ones, dude. And I was the only kid with the picture of the hat on, like the only person that was able to wear the hats, and like it was just like, I guess they just let me do my thing. But yeah, they picked me, and I like at the time, dude. You gotta think like 2008.
It was the height because it was right before the crash.
I was such a quiet kid. Like I was not like you probably saw me like on the Superbike days where I was a little bit more kind of like outgoing.
Yes,
but like
more silly.
Yeah.
And that's where I thought the squirrel thing came from, was just being a silly kid.
No, dude, I was just always a quiet kid. Like when I would like people would come up like even when I was racing like amateur and stuff, like you know like you talk to any racers, like some people like want your autograph, dude. I would just be like I'd freeze up, and I'd be like. I think I was at Cycle Gear and I was like on a supermoto or something like that, and they were doing like some like promoting thing.
Yeah.
Some guy like walked up to me, like was trying to like talk to me, and dude, I like beelined away from this dude. I was like, nah, dude, stranger. Like and my dude, I was
stranger danger mode.
I did, dude. I was just such a quiet kid.
All right, I like to point out the fact that was stranger danger, but you got in the free candy van.
Yeah, dude. There's candy, and it was pretty pristine. So, you know.
But I mean, that kind of makes sense. But it's kind of funny if you think about it. Like, that dude was probably like either thinking you're an asshole or, oh, he's still a young shy kid. You know what I mean? It goes one way or the other.
I was such a shy kid, like growing up, like on the really until like after the Red Bull years, like I was still a pretty shy kid. Like I was very quiet. Like I mean, I'm kind of the same way now. Like as long as like you kind of know me, I'm kind of more open. But like same thing, dude.
So we basically got to break you out of your show.
You have to break me out of your
Yeah.
Because like, dude, I have buddies that are like, dude, you're a fucking asshole, and I'm like, and then they're like, see me, and they're like, dude, you don't stop talking. I'm like, it's because we're friends now.
Yeah.
Like, you should have just not been my friend. Like,
that's funny. All right, so let's witness this amazing commercial that Jake was a part of.
Yeah.
In 2008. I can't see because the fucking strap is.
The machines go over 125 miles an hour on the toughest tracks all over the U.S. It's riders handpicked from thousands. Aim the pavement with skills taught from a world champion. It's the Red Bull AMA US Rookies Cup, and we want you on the grid in 09. But bring your A game because...
Hey man, this ain't Little League.
Apply now at RedBullRookiesCup.com.
If you see like,
dude, that's so good.
Everybody walking off the pit wall, there was a small kid from like, I think he was like from Venezuela or something, and then there was like me, and we were like,
apply now.
Dudes.
The machines go over 125.
All right, sorry, hold on. I'm trying to pause it.
Right, go back.
All right.
No, a little bit more. Yeah, you can see us walking off the wall right there.
You on the grid in.
I think it was a Colin Edwards helmet that I had on, like a replica that year. Back to the left some. Yeah, right there. So the small dude right there, that was me, dude.
All right, so
4 foot like nothing.
This one?
No, to the left, right there. Yep,
that one.
That was
so
me.
That's you.
Different gloves on, like red gloves.
That is pretty funny, and I don't remember what helmet this is, but I recognize this helmet.
I think it's an Edwards helmet.
Yeah,
I think it's a Colin Edwards helmet, and then I forgot. I think it was the Japanese rider I think I had on. It was like a blue replica, dude, and I love that helmet. That was like the one I raced with forever.
But still, so when you look at
the hair flip,
that hair, and let me, you know what? I'm just doing a quick little Google search right now of
Keith Urban.
Yes.
Yeah, a little side by side.
Yeah, let's see.
Dude, it's so crazy to think. Oh wait. Look at that,
there
dude.
It is. Right there.
I'm like the Temu version. I'm like the Temu version.
But for real, like that was the hair that you had that they were like, you gotta go see this kid.
Dude, I never cut my hair. I think like from like 2005, 2006, I had never cut my hair. And I think, like I said, so the hair thing, I shaved my head 2009. Kevin Swant's like girlfriend at the time. We were at Indy, and somebody thought I was JD Beach. And like me and JD Beach are like good friends. We rode a bunch, and I always went up there and trained with those guys and stuff like that. But he always just had curly hair. But they really thought I was JD Beach, and she was just kind of like upset about it. And so she took me down to the factory Suzuki GP team. They were like super close with the guys, and like grabbed one of the mechanics. I guess he was like a barber at one point. Dude rolls up, puts me on a chair in front of all these people in the paddock, and just straight buzz cuts me like I am now. Just so I went from that to that. Like,
oh my god!
In one and he like went through the middle, and he was like, "Oh, my clippers broke." And I was like, I like looked at my mom and looked at like I think Marnie, and I was like, "Tell me he's kidding," and he's like, "No." And I was like, and then he's like, I'm just kidding. He turns it back on and just straight cuts me. I mean, balds me basically, dude. And yeah, so then I had short hair forever after that.
All right, I've got some issue with this camera. Hold on a second. Oh, shit. Bumped it.
The squid.
Okay. All right. Yep. Move my chair around.
I'm telling you, with all that running, you were sweating like.
No, what's funny is like, look, I'm not professional at this. I'm doing this just because like I know cool dudes like you, and in the motorcycle world or dirt bike world and road racing world, and it's just like I want those people to have a chance to tell
Some stories.
good stories, you know. But every time like something weird happens,
Dude.
Brian's on, and we lose audio. I touched nothing. Literally just had to unplug a thing and plug it in, and audio works again.
Dude,
right?
it's like we were talking. Like, it's so funny. Like, the guys that race, like, moto or, like, super bikes, like, how small the world really is. Like,
yeah.
guys at work, dude, they, like, know some guys. Like, one of the guys that did one of my abatements on my jobs is, like, neighbors with Brian Stokes.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, dude, he was, like, talking about this dude, and I was like, what's his name? And he's like, oh, Brian Stokes. And I was like, dude, tell him Squirrel said something. Or, like, Jake Morman. He's like, he knows you? I was like, oh, yeah, dude knows me. And then, like, my buddy Daniel, he knows you. And then, like, just a couple other people. It's just so funny. Like, how many people, like, guys at work, they'll be like, hey, some guy was talking about you, like, motorcycle racing. And, like, I told him about you. And he's like, I mentioned your name. They're like, oh, yeah, that dude was the real deal back in the day. And I'm like, dude, that was so long ago.
Well, what's funny is I remember, like, being at Marmo, and, like, things were, because you got to think, it's 2010, like, things were getting tough, like, after the financial crisis. And he went from, like, having a bunch of fun racers and cool racers and sponsoring racers and Opie, and then, like, Opie leaving, and then Opie opening his own shop, to being like, you know what? He's like, I'm kind of done with helping the racers. Like, I'm not getting what I want back. And it really wasn't anything else other than the economy and other things. And then, like, I felt like it was like the next day after he said that, he's like, hey, so we're going to start helping this racer. I was like, who is it? He said, Jake Morman. And I was like, you just said we're not going to do this anymore. And then he's like, Kevin Schwantz called me last night. You don't say no to Kevin Schwantz. So Kevin Schwantz called him and was like, hey, look, there's this kid coming up. He's badass. He's going to be something. Can you help him? And Huey's like, yes, sir.
Dude, it was such a crazy thing because he wanted us on a Suzuki so bad. And, like, I would ride at his schools and stuff. And I liked them, but they just never really fit my riding style. But I love the Hondas. But everybody knew, like, the Hondas just didn't have the support here. Like, Benny Solis rode with them. And, I mean, he was fast, but he struggled. But, like, he was getting stuff from, like, you know, overseas getting brought over here. Like, and some guys are doing that. Like, they're able to get that pull from overseas. But it's still a struggle. And he was like, I was just like, dude, the Yamaha fits me. And he was just like, when you can go to Suzuki, like, we can help you a lot more. But, like, so then, yeah, Huey, dude, shout out to him because after I got hurt in Daytona, I got really hurt.
Yep.
Dude, he, like, I hadn't even rode a bike. We had rolled up to the shop. I think I had just gotten, like, really out of, like, a lot of PT stuff. Like, I think I might have still been on crutches or something when I, like, pulled to the shop.
Yes.
And he, like, took this chance with me, man. And we rode, like, 2 years with him. And he really, dude,
Huey's a brain.
Such a solid dude.
Yep.
And I remember, like, we couldn't even get the bike together or something. And who was the guy? I can't remember. Daniel something. I remember because I was thinking about that the other day. He owned the electrical company.
Sullivan.
Yes. We didn't have a bike ready or something. We didn't have stuff. And he gave me his bike to race at the first race back on the AMA circuit.
Honestly am fucking shocked I pulled that out of my ass in that quick.
Dude,
holy shit.
He literally was like, and he called me. He's like, I got a bike. I'm going to let you ride it. And I was like, dude, I don't have money like that. Like, if I throw your bike down the track, like, a lot of our sponsors had dropped us that year. Like when I got hurt, like, we had a lot of support. And
I'm pretty sure this was going to be your bike.
That was the bike. Yeah. And
No, that was the bike you were gonna be racing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like
so
little
funny.
legs.
Yeah.
Was running along just.
But like a lot of people I called that year when I got hurt in Daytona, and they were like, we just don't know what's gonna happen, because I didn't know what was gonna happen. Like I was told that I was like gonna have to do all the surgery on my knee and all this crazy stuff, and so I just started calling people. I'm like, I'll let you know, and some people were like, we just can't wait. Season starting, kind of like dropped me, and Huey took me in, dude, and I remember going to that first race, and we ended up riding Daniel's bike, and we ended up putting it almost on the podium. Like first round, I don't.
Oh, you know what? Was it Daniel Sullivan or Daniel Taryn?
No, Sullivan.
Okay.
Daniel Taryn's Daniel Greg's
No, like not that guy.
Oh,
Like
okay.
there's somebody
another
else
one?
that was hitting me with that. But I feel like Daniel Sullivan was a guy that had like electrical company.
Yeah, it was him.
Okay.
Yeah, he we had ran his company on the side of the bike too, because he like hooked it up, and he was like, if you sling it down the track, we'll figure it out later. Like, but I want to help you.
Yeah.
And I remember like that was the first round. Like I think Huey had been like not really in the paddock a long time. Like it's been a while, and like we brought him in there. And I remember like coming into practice, and I started talking to him about like the setup on the bike. Like we had struggled. Yeah. We had struggled on setup like all morning, dude. I think practice, we were like, it rained. So first race back, I think I rode a Swant Suzuki at like a school, like at like puppy pace, basically, just to see if I could even ride.
So probably still faster than I would go, but
Basically
whatever.
like puppy pace, dude. And just to make sure my ankle was like somewhat, I could like stand on it and stuff. I was still wearing a brace at the time. It's raining. First practice. Struggle, dude. I mean, never struggled so much in my life. I think I was just timid. Ankle was just like still fresh. I think at like practice I was like 20th. And I was like, this is gonna be a long fucking weekend. And I think I ended up qualifying like 13th or something on the grid. And I ended up getting a good start in the first race and buckled down. But I remember Huey, like after I come in after qualifying, and I just started telling him all the stuff I needed done on the setup. And I think like he had been out of it so long, and like somebody that was just so like, I guess, thorough about like what they were saying. And it's funny because I was never like that until Matt Lynn. Matt Lynn crew chief for me one time, and dude, he helped me a lot on the 600. Like he really broke me out of my comfort zone, and so did Opie. Like those two guys really helped me like figure out bike setups. And I remember Huey was like, I don't even know what the hell he's saying, dude. He's talking over my head. And like at the year we were working with Olins, and like he brought the Olins guy down, and Kevin did, and we started telling him, and he's like, we started talking about setup, but he like knew what I needed as far as like bike, like what I needed the bike to do, but he just like could not, like he was just like, you're over my head right now, dog. And he ended up getting the bike set up like the way I need to, and we went out and we got beat by Elena Myers, but by like,
dude, I asked Parker if you knew her because we've messaged for Brian's show, so I was gonna ask her if she knew you that well.
So she had beat me by like 2 or 3 bikes. I had like chased her down on the last 2 laps, dude, just riding everything I had out of this bike. Like I think when I tried to pass her at Barber, it was in the last 2 like right left turn.
Yeah.
And I like tried to go up the inside of her on the right and try to set up to like get a drive, and I literally felt the tire just completely giving out. Like I was on crashing like mode. And then I like swooped back behind her, and I mean she was on that factory M4 bike, dude, and just motored me down the straightaway. And but we were just happy, like first race back, hadn't been on a bike in like 5 or 6 months, and basically was put on the box at like a first AMA race. And he was like, dude, he was like almost crying. And I was just like, dude, I'm so thankful you guys like put this team together for me. Like, and then we ended up running with them. And then I think in the second race, we ended up getting like in the 8th place or something like that. We ended up battling out with some guys, and I got bumped off the track. But dude, it was such a sick weekend because like he made it. There's like very few crew chiefs that I think I've ever worked with that were just like I could be myself with. And if I just couldn't give them the feedback, they would figure out how to get the feedback from me.
Yeah.
And like Matt Lynn was one of them, dude. Like shout out to Matt Lynn. I know he's been on the show. Like he showed up to Talladega, and you know him. He's like a camper, like just outdoorsy guy.
Yep.
Showed up, dude, sleeping in a tent with an air mattress, and just spent all weekend with me, racing at like a national. And we like I think
Did he actually go into the woods and like kill an animal for you guys to eat for dinner?
No, dude, but
'cause that's what I picture him.
oh
he
yeah,
would
it's
do.
him through and through. But he like I came in like after practice one time and I just could not give him the feedback I wanted. But like I could tell him what I couldn't tell him what I needed, but I could tell him what the bike was doing, and I just couldn't get it out. And he was like, "All right, I'm gonna make some changes." So he like wrenched on the bike, made some changes, and he's like, "Go out there and tell me if it's faster." So I went out and I was like, "Yeah." And then he would explain to me like why he did what he did.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, he just helped me so much on setup, and so did Opie. Like Opie would do the same thing, or like change certain tires or different pressures. And like, actually, I think it was like maybe one of the only 600 dudes, because you know anything about Opie at Talladega, he ran a 200 on the back.
Dude, yeah.
I ended up started running a 200 on the back on the 600, and I was like, dude, do you think this is gonna work? He was like, if you're struggling as much as you are to like get through that carousel, he's like, the 200's it. Dude, it made a huge difference. And like then we ended up having to go, like when we started racing AMA, they're running spec tires. So like if we were really battling in the national stuff, trying to go into the stuff, we would run the 200, but like for the most part we tried to run the 180. And I just had to figure out how to ride the 180, but the 200 was like, dude, that was his secret at Tally. So if anybody who's listening to this and knows anything about that, that's his secret, I think, is like his 200.
Maybe don't run it on a 125.
Huh?
On a 125, don't put it on the 125.
No,
200?
definitely not.
Yeah,
200.
yeah.
Yeah, only on like the super bikes. Yeah. You're definitely not doing anything on the 125
Yeah.
with that bad boy.
So funny you saying that, and I know I talked about it in Matt's show, but dude, I crashed our barber and picked you up, went back. So I cracked my radiator on my 636. I went to to Britt Lynn's house,
Yeah.
right? And got it fixed. And he's like, I'll fix this
That
for
was
you.
that same weekend, wasn't
The
it?
same, like I went on Saturday, came back and raced on Sunday. And this dude's like just doing your magic with fucking thin aluminum, which you got to have skill to do that. I just remember being in awe from that. But it makes sense, like, for what his dad was, that passed down to him, and the stuff that he knows is unreal. But yeah, his dad tells me, he's like, I'll fix this for you. I think he either charged me $50 or he was like, I'll charge you nothing if you actually race the next day. And I told him, I was like, you don't know me, dude. I will fucking race. Like, you fix my shit, I will fucking race
I'll
tomorrow.
fuck this thing up again.
Yeah, I don't care that I drove 3 hours home and then another hour up to your house for you to fix this shit and then go back, put it on. I'm fucking racing.
They're such solid dudes.
Yeah,
like
dude.
even Matt, dude, he's just always been a solid guy. Like
Yeah.
around the paddock, I remember racing against him. Like when he would like show up to nationals on just like, I don't know if it was a Triumph at the time, or he would show up on like, no, he rode the Cowie. He was riding the ZX 6.
Yeah, or he was on the Farachi.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
he came by me, I think, on the Cowie, dude, sideways. Like the thing was bucking, and I'm pretty sure he was like rodeoing it. Like he took his hand off the bar and everything. Was like, yeah, just lassoing this thing, dude, and just blowing by me. And I'm like, this dude is nuts. And I think he did. I think I raced him at Atlanta. Then he did some crazy shit like that again. And then I think on the cooldown lap, I saw him like up against the wall because he had like ran out of fuel. But like beat everybody by like miles, dude. And I was like, this dude's just fast. And I just remember him like racing like 600s and stuff. Like, cause like Ryan Ellaby, he's like really good. Ellaby's dad, when I hurt my hand, when I had lost my pinky or whatever, we like somehow almost got him talked into like, cause he's a doctor. His dad's like a doctor.
Yeah.
Like to numb my hand enough so I could ride that weekend. And everybody was like, we're not doing that. Like, we're not doing it.
Because you don't have the grip that you
Dude, I
need,
did. Yeah,
essentially.
I'm so glad people talked me out of that. Like at that age, but I just wanted to ride, dude. I didn't care. I like came like 2 days out of surgery, like ready to ride. I like squeezing a tennis ball all the way to the track, kind of thing. Like,
Yeah. So that was actually something that was kind of brought up in the chats and also a thing I had noted. So yeah, tell me what happened with the pinky story.
so back USGBRU, like they do like the 125 TZ in like the 250 class, and they still have like the Formula One stuff and like they run 600s. Big national. This is like when Rockwell Honda had like their own GP team. Who was it? Nobi Iso was on like the factory Aprilia. I think Turner was running with Nobi Iso on the practice.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And so we show up, dude. I had blown a motor like before that on my my RS, and we get it fixed, and so we're just trying to test out this motor really, and USGBRU has a weighted thing. Like you have to be so much weight to be even. They play like even field. They did the same thing in the Red Bull Rookies Cup. Like you had to be within a weight.
yeah, that makes sense.
You have to be within a weight to make it
Yeah,
fair.
because if you're so light,
dude, like Hayden Gillum, I think Hayden Gillum was like a full-grown man at the time. Like he's such a big dude. Like I mean, he was like probably at the time like almost 6 foot, and I mean he was a stocky kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's on a 125, and then there's me, like I think I was at the time like 4'11" and like 80 pounds, if that. Like so, like the weight to weight ratio is just wild. So we qualified, dude, and we ended up I ended up thinking we qualified pole or like way up front, like not even trying. Like I was just out just burning laps, and we went through tech after because they were like, hey, you got to pull into tech here. And I'm like, I've never done this. Like, what the hell's going on? Like, and
you're probably like, do I show my ass?
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on here, dude? And so they weighed the bike and they disqualified me. Like,
what?
So there's they do it like a real super bike. So they qualify, and then race. So they're like, we're gonna disqualify for first qualifying, like, but you need to like add so much weight. And I'm like, dude, I've never heard of this. So I'm like hauling back ass to the pits with my dad. I'm like, dude, they just disqualified me. And he was like, well, I mean, we're just breaking in the motor. Like, what are you worried about? I was like, no, dude, like, I guess I like put it up front or somewhere like in the top 5 or something like that. And they disqualified me, like, we're underweight. And I was like, I don't want to get disqualified. And so my dad Bass Pro, right up the road from a barber, I think it just opened.
Yeah.
They went and got a bunch of fishing lead, melted a box inside my subframe of the 125.
No shit.
All night, like inhaling lead, dude. Like melted it down, pop riveted it, and made this little pan that we could pull in and out. Like when we go race WERA, we could pull it out because it didn't matter. And then when we'd race USGBU, they'd slam it back in, and
that's genius.
They would adjust the suspension to it. Dude, we went out qualifying second time, and me and another rider,
the only thing I would say that I would do different is not so up high, maybe in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, they did it kind of like over the way the pans on the RS is, they did it like right over the rear shock.
Mm-hmm.
So like they could adjust for it because they're like, you got to think there's nothing on those bikes. Like they're just,
yeah.
There's nothing.
So is that close to like that?
Yeah.
So that was the bike.
Basically right under the seat pan is like where he's sitting would be it. Basically right in there.
Right
like
there.
That's like the subframe, and then it just like stops. So like it's really the seat pan, and then it's the tank. Like carburetor is basically under that thing. So like you read, and it's crazy. You rejet those things like right before you race because like they're just so timid. And so there's nothing to them. Like you can't put it in the front because there's nothing.
Yep.
There's no room. So we just had to stick it under the subframe basically and build this little pan that like fit perfect and pull it back out. And they just came up with this idea like over the night, and they adjusted the suspension for it, dude. And it's worked since then. And I think we just got so used to it, we never took it out. Like we just left it in there.
Just left it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't make a difference because we realized it didn't really make a difference in racing. And if anything, it helped me because I was such a small guy.
Yeah.
So it helped the bike plan a little more.
Yeah, I could see that, like centrifugal force trying to like get to the next side or whatever. Yeah.
And so qualifying day 2, same thing, kind of running up front, and me and a guy, Fernando, I cannot remember his last name, but group racing with Supermoto all the way into like the GP stuff.
I mean, this might be racist to say Garcia.
Nah, it was something longer.
No?
Yeah,
okay.
Dude, I'm telling you bad names.
Quadrinadero.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you come, dude, I haven't heard these tracks in so long. So you come off the back straight at Barber, you come down to the left, back right, go up over the hill. Then you're coming into the long sweeper before the right, back left to the front straightaway.
Okay.
So me and him are running like over the hill. I'm coming back down, and there's 2 lines there. You either go wide or you go tight, but you gotta set up. You
gotta set up to the inside.
Yeah, you gotta set up.
Yeah.
So he dives up the inside. So I'm like, all right, I left the door open, but I'm gonna go back up the inside, and I'm just gonna try to carry some momentum. Like we're both like rolling, and we're kind of,
which is the final turn at that point. Yep.
And as I'm like swinging back over to kind of get up against the rumble strips, and like, because on the 125, dude, you just try to use everything you had to just carry momentum. So like you'd run up all the way up to that rumble strip, slap the rumble strip, back to the rumble strip onto the front straightaway, and just carry everything you have. Like it was just, you had to connect it. And as soon as I like get swung back over to the rumble strips, he comes from the left of me, and he like tries to bring his momentum with him, and it hits it. We both hit and it takes both of us out, and it drags us into the gravel traps. And I'm like,
Ooh.
I'm out like cold, you know? I mean, like he hit me with some force. Like, I mean, we're both like swinging into each other, basically, like connecting.
Dude, I don't know anybody that's been in the gravel traps on the front straight.
No, this is like before the front straight. Like we didn't even make it into the left. Like we connected as we were both transferring. So he was coming back and I was coming back this way. So we just hit and we got tangled up and it pushed me into the gravel trap. And I remember like getting just drugged, but I kind of got knocked loose a little bit. And I went to go pick my bike up. And I remember looking at my pipe was just like tacoed back up to like the front fairing. And I was like, went to go like look at my bike, dude, and my finger's just hanging. And I'm probably 13 at the time. Fingers just hanging. And I'm like, see the bone in my other finger. And I'm like, shocked. Just instantly like, holy shit. So I start freaking out. I start grabbing my hand and I'm like jumping. Well, he like runs over to me and he's like grabbing my hand. He's like, I'm so sorry. Like, you know, like you race close to some guys. You just like, when you hit somebody, you just feel bad. Like if you know you really take my.
Yeah.
He like looks down at my hand and he realizes it. Dude, he picks me up. And like carries me all the way to the fence where the paramedics are, and he was like, "Y'all need to get him in the paramedics." And he like throws me over the wall, and the corner marshal was there, and like their eyes got huge. They were like, "Holy shit,
Jesus!"
So they wrapped me up, they put me in the thing, and I'm just like freaking out. And I remember like them coming to get my mom and dad in the paddock, and my mom like opens the door, and like one of the corner marshals, dude, I cannot remember his name, saving my life, but he's like been around since I raced.
Yeah.
What is the older dude? He just.
I don't know,
who I'm
but
talking
like,
about. He's like
there's the guy
dude.
at Dade City for me. That's the same way. Like he's picked me up so many times,
known
put
me
me in
from
the ambulance,
hyper racing to like super bikes.
Which is funny because is it a good thing or bad thing that all the medics know you by
not
first
even
name?
bad. I think he just like watched me grow up, so like he just knew, and like when we get on the trucks, like he just knew, like he favored like me, Miles Thornton, like there's a couple kids, dude. Like he just watched us grow up, like racing the WERA stuff from this series, and
So I do gotta ask: was when you get hurt, would he be like? Say, boys, you all right? Hey, you need a hand there? Because the way you're describing it, it kind of seems like he's like, hey, I got some popsicles.
Got some popsicles.
Yeah, you want some popsicles? Yeah, back here.
That's cool. Dude, I love it. I love when you did that back then.
So also, when you messed up your pinky, were you like, dude, what's the little?
So
you're like.
To this day, if any of my buddies are watching, dude, I still mess with people with my finger, dude. It is my like good joke now. Like I have so many stories for it. Like
I'd ask you to show me, but I don't know. Oh, it's that one. Okay, yeah.
So
I was on my camera, so stick it up again. There it is.
Yeah.
It's like you're throwing like retarded gang signs.
It's kind of like, excuse my language, it's like a portable butt plug.
That is a tiny butt plug. Not that I would know.
Whoa.
But I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Earlier, you know.
Yeah.
But they come up to my mom and I think he was like, it's bad. And she was like, what do you mean it's bad? He's like some digits. And so she opened
some digits.
Basically, he just like didn't know how to explain it to her. Like he's losing missing fingers. Like they try to explain it to her, and so they opened the door, and I just looked at my mom, and I was like, I'm done racing. I was like, I'm missing like my fingers are gone. And she was like, no, like my mom was so like one of those people like can talk you off the world, like and just be like, you're good, like you're gonna be fine. And I remember them like telling me they're gonna cut my suit off, and that was like the one thing I was like, you know,
no.
I was like, do not cut my suit off. Like you know, any racers like do not cut my suit off unless you're like factory rider. You're like, fuck it. But even then, I think some of those guys just didn't want it.
No.
And so we get on the ambulance and we're hauling ass to Birmingham, and I remember my mom, like, I'm just, like, freaking out, you know, just, like, I'm done riding, like, I'm never gonna ride again, like, I'm missing fingers, like, I'm screwed. And I think, like, they were trying to, like, cheer me up. They're like, oh, you hear, like, they got the sirens on, like, they're really hauling. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm missing fingers. And we ended up showing up there, and
how am I gonna get through prom like this?
Yeah,
Is that what you were thinking?
Dude.
Jeez. Yeah.
And they were going to end up taking, so that they were going to take the top of this finger at one point, because this was like ground down to the bone. They were going to take this one and cut this one down more. And I remember like my dad fucking chewed them out and was like, I don't care if it takes 2 hours or 24 hours for you to do what you got to do with this surgery, but like this kid's young and he still has like a whole life ahead of him. Like you're not going to ruin his life like over something.
Fucking bug.
Yeah. He was like, you're not going to ruin his life over this. Like, he's still got to live like a whole life. And so they sent me to another hospital, and it's crazy because the same weekend, I think it was like 2 hours after me, Hayden Gillum had broke his collarbone. He had crashed out of the same corner, high-sided to the moon, dude.
Oof.
Shattered his collarbone. We both were riding for Red Bull that year. And we had just been racing just to kind of get some training in, And then my buddy Josh Cook had a couple hours later, he got smoked from a dude going down into Charlotte's Web, and actually he like destroyed both of his legs, and like broke both of his legs or whatever. So like it was just a rough weekend for like all the dudes that like I knew, and I remember them.
But at least all your homeboys, they're all hanging out at the hospital, right?
Dude, that was crazy. Like they ended up taking me and Hayden to the same hospital, and that was like when they tried to cheer me up, and they actually tried to get us like to see each other before we both went into surgery. But then there was a doctor out in California that like all the racers go to for stuff, and they ended up getting Hayden on a plane. Somebody had paid for like his plane to get all the way over there so they could do his collarbone. And I ended up going to another hospital, and they ended up doing surgery on my hand, and I sat in the hospital for like, it was a Sunday. I think I got released on a Tuesday, and on the way home, I was trying to call doctors to see who would release me to go race the following weekend.
Yeah.
And
so where was the next race?
VIR for Red Bull. So
damn, I can't believe they'd have one back-to-back weekends.
So it wasn't. It was we were out USGPRU racing the national stuff for like USGPRU, and then we're going to like race Red Bull after.
Oh,
because there was no like contract that saying you couldn't do it. So we were just like, if we could get some seat time on bikes, we were doing it. Like,
yeah, because it's just gonna make you fresh.
Yeah, you're just fresh all the time. I mean, all these kids that are racing even now, like everybody's racing almost every weekend. Like it wears you out, but like you're staying fresh, and everybody's just training to that now. And so we show up to this doctor's appointment with my parents on like Wednesday, and the dude literally pulls my parents out of the doctor's office, and I'm in there by myself. He's like, "Can I have just get you guys to leave for a second?" And he like sits me down. He's like, "Is this you or your parents want you to race?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "Dude, they don't want me to even go." I'm like, "This is
I want to do this."
And he was like, "You realize like what kind of damage you did to your hand? Like you can barely close your hand." And I was like, "I'll grab a tennis ball. Like I'll do whatever I gotta do to like." And he was like, "Dude, the dude did not want to do it. Like he signed a like release form for me to race, like run practice." And I think LB's dad or somebody else like a track was gonna have to release me to race, but he was able to release me for practice. So we get in the car Thursday. I'm literally squeezing a tennis ball all the way home, or all the way to the track. Like anything I could do just to try to like help my grip. Stitches in my hand, like both hands. Like I'm like gauzing. Like dude, I think I have a picture somewhere. I have to find it, but like my finger just mangled. And get to the track, and I think LB's dad comes and looks at my hand, and he's like, "You sure you want to do this?" And I was like, "Let's do it." They couldn't even put my glove on my hand. So I was wearing like a small glove at the time.
That's weird. It's your name calling it.
What's the number on it? It's probably my sister or something.
Hey, you're on with Campfire Moto Stories. Who do we got here?
This is Jake's mom.
Oh, it's my mom.
New phone, who dis?
Yes.
New phone, who did? Click.
No, let me tell you something. I just want to clarify. Danny and I begged him not to go to VIR.
Yeah, dude, it was gnarly. So then we get in there, and my mechanic actually that year was it's so funny, dude. It was Travis Pastrana's mechanic when he was doing a Red Bull contract when he did the double backflip. Like he was somehow his mechanic, is what I was told. Like still to now, I think that's it. But so he builds this grip for me, takes like sandpaper, wraps it around the grip so I can grab it.
Yeah.
And like tapes it. He's like, and he builds up like the grip for me.
Because it's throttle hand.
Yeah, it's throttle hand. So he's like, whatever we can do. We end up having to upsize my glove to like 2 sizes. At the time I was wearing like extra small. I think I was like a medium or large when they tried to put this glove. And they stuck like these rubber like basic condoms over my fingers and like lubed my hand so I could slide it in the glove.
Oh.
dude, I had people over top of me, media and all this shit. Like, they thought I was just nuts. And at the time, Roger Hayden had already lost his finger.
They weren't wrong, but okay.
So Roger Hayden had lost his finger at the time. So, like, they had Roger Hayden talking to me.
Dude, so many people. Matt's lost his.
So Matt Lynn came up to me, and Matt Lynn was like, "This is like he was just like, dude, I think he was like kind of hyping me up. He was like, show me. He's like, man, you got it. And like they actually copied. I think it was him or Roger's glove when I rode, and they ended up sewing my glove for like when I rode for Ibble and gave me a custom glove for like the rest of the season. But yeah, I think I ended up talking to Matt Lynn, and he was like trying to tell me how to get through it all and everything like that. Like he was like, it's no biggie. Like it's crazy how many dudes have lost. Ben Young, or not Ben Young, Blake Young had lost his at Barber, coming out of Charlotte's Web. And
so since we have your mom on the phone, go ahead, tell me how you felt about all this thing.
I was not happy. Matter of fact, I'll never forget it. One of the other pro riders, Jake, what's his name? Josh, what's his last name?
There's a lot of Joshes.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well, yeah, no, you know what I'm talking about.
Heron?
You bought a bike from him.
Oh,
You bought
Hayes.
a bike from him.
Yeah, I was really close with Hayes.
He walked up to me when they were pressuring Jake to try to ride, and he said, listen, you know that I'm a huge fan of Jake's, but please, please, please don't let him make this mistake. Because if he hurts himself even worse, it could just be deadly. Don't let him do it. And I remember Jake and Hayden Gillum coming up to me saying, hey, we've convinced the one guy to let us do it.
Dad,
but I think
my finger.
I think I could. Yeah, they were like, can you think that if I took like a Lura tab or something?
No, they were going to put a shot in my hand and numb it. And it would be numb for like a little bit. He could numb just the part of the pinky, he said.
Not, and I was like, you're not going to be able to feel
basically,
your
like
hand.
only so far into my finger, so like I wouldn't feel my hand hurt so much, but I could use the rest of my hand.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, sir, absolutely not.
So they get the glove on and everything, and I go out for practice, and I wasn't slow, dude, but I just struggled. Like,
oh no, you were fat.
I was fat. Like, yeah, I just would get into the braking zones, and I think where I was like, there's no way. I think I tried to outbrake somebody going into one at VR, and you know how fast VR is.
I've never been to VIR,
okay,
so I
VR
can't say
just
I do.
like tapped wide open. You hit like turn one, which is that kink right at the finish line, and I mean you're just full tapped off the. I mean it's a long run. I tried to get into the brake marker with him, dude, and I just blew off the track. I couldn't even stop the bike. Like my hand just wouldn't stop the bike, and I think I came in and I finally came in. And I was like, I can't do it, and everybody was like, we're not even mad at you. Like we're just like we don't even want you to ride right now.
Yeah,
and it was one of those bittersweets. Like I wanted to race, and I was watching everybody race, and I was just sitting at the track at that point, and that was like one of the first times I was like, this is miserable.
But at least with that, because I've been in that situation before where it's like, I want to do this. I gave everything I can, and it did not work out.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like, I cannot physically do this. But there's almost like a weird relief with that. Like,
oh, yeah.
Hey, you know what? I gave everything I could. So at least I can't say, like, 20 years from now, I'm not going to go, now I'm a quitter.
Yeah.
You know, like I did what I could.
Dude, the crazy thing is like, I ended up growing up with a guy racing the Red Bull Cup stuff, and he ended up passing away that weekend. And it was a motorcycle accident, like at the track in the race. And not a lot of it. I don't think a lot of it got released, but I would have been in that pack basically. And so that was like one of those things. Like it was like, damn. I'm glad I didn't end up racing because, like, what if that would have been, what if? And so, like, I kind of looked at that bigger picture at the end of the weekend, and I'm like, I didn't get the race, but maybe that there was a reason for it. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Well, Julie, it was pretty cool to talk to you the other day because we haven't spoken in so long, and I do want to know how mad are you at me for remembering the Amy Winehouse thing?
Not at all. It's so funny because I remember that so vividly now. I'm like, I remember going, I can't believe she's dead. I can't believe she's dead.
And you remember
like,
my smart ass going, really?
How would you not think she would die from that?
Dude.
She made a song about try to make me go to rehab. I say no, no, no. And you can't you can't believe that she's dead. Okay.
I do remember that. Like it was yesterday. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh my God, I remember that. Having that conversation with him.
Yeah,
my
that's pretty
God.
awesome. I do think that's one kind of funny thing because, like I said, I haven't seen Jake in, I mean, other than the one time, but like essentially you guys for like 14 years. But we're getting to hang out again. That's one thing I love about this like industry is it's like family again.
Oh, dude, yeah.
You know?
You don't see people for a while.
You know, I was just thinking to myself, listening to Jake talk like that. It like if I close my eyes and just listen to it, it feels like it was just yesterday. And that is one thing I will say 100 times over. Do I miss the financial burden of what we went through? Paying for all that? God no. But do I miss watching him on a track? 100%. That will be forever like one of my best memories of racing him.
As long as you get through the first 2 laps. You can't talk to her for the first 2 laps.
As long as you get, yes.
I remember people trying to talk to her like when we race, and people would just not even like they would even when I raced AMA, they like she would always go to like the first turn. You would talk to her for 2 laps.
As long as
if you talked to her for the first 2 laps, she'd chew you out.
I'd be okay.
And then for some reason, if I made it through 2 laps, like you could have a whole conversation with her while you race. But the first 2 laps, do not talk to Julie.
Dude, that reminds me. One of my buddies, his mom would hold rocks in his hands for how many laps he had to do, so that she could keep track, kind of thing. And she was just and she said her scariest moment was the start.
Yeah.
And then after the start, it was okay.
It's just so wild, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, superbikes like.
Well, it's just for moto.
Oh, even moto, dude. I mean, dude, the motocross dudes, like I've watched those dudes just get mangled going into it, dude.
I would lose I would be like stressing out.
You got 30 dudes. I mean, even
right.
superbikes, supercross, 30 dudes fucking fighting for the line that they need to take to just make power with.
But at least you guys were staggered a little bit. It wasn't just a
dude.
Go,
it still felt like it was fucking chaos going in there, dude.
Yeah.
And even like the first couple laps, certain tracks, dude, you just be like they didn't really break up the field as much. Like Barber, like you'd get through turn 1, you'd hit the sweeper, come up over the hill, and then hit Charlotte's Web, and it was just dive bomb central, dude. I remember racing, dude, and dudes would just dive bomb me, and you're just like, dude, I'm getting.
Dude, I nose wheelied off in Charlotte's Web. Yeah.
I mean, people are just violent, especially like on like the pro level. Dudes are just, dude, it's crazy. Like I'm sure, like if you talk to Chris ever about it, like. Dudes would just like mess with you, man. It's like supercross stuff. Like it's head games. Like it is 100% head games racing, and it's just like how fast you can get somebody's head, or like even on the track, it's all about. Like me and Chris raced, dude, and I remember the last race at the GNF and him like battling, dude. I ended up crashing out of that one, but he was just nasty on the brakes, like going into 10A. Like he was just super nasty, and then I knew I had him a little bit more in turn 1. But I was like, I just got to get him on the drive, and if I can get in front of him in 10A, like maybe I can battle him down into the bus stop. But yeah, I mean, and you just kind of play, like you have some guys that'll play a little bit more safe, but they still like kind of like check you a little bit.
Yeah.
And then there's some dudes that they're just.
They don't give a fuck.
Dude, they don't. Like you're like fighting for each other.
It's funny to hear about the head games because so Stokes and I were talking last week. He was going to try to get Kevin to call in. So he texted him, he tried to get it set up, and it wasn't going to be able to work out.
Yeah.
But, like, I've heard the stories of what Kevin did head game-wise to win his MotoGP, and I was like, fucking legend.
Gnarly, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even, like, when I was racing...
I don't want to talk about it too much because I would love to get him on at some point, like,
Some of the stories I've heard just, like, hanging out with him and stuff, dude, and, like, some of the stories, it's just, dude, they're wild.
Yes.
Like, wild. Even, like, racing, like, the GP stuff, like, when we were racing, like, Indy and stuff, like, some of the Europeans, we had to race them at Indy. Dude, they would just be like, I mean, I remember one guy walked up to, like, I was standing there with JD Beach, and one dude literally walked up and was like, I'm basically going to punch you off the track. Like, was just straight up was like, I'm going to take you out. Like, dude, I mean, and you would. Like, some dudes would just dive bomb me. Like, I remember on the 600s, dude would pull out of the pits and, like, check up on you. Like, on a flyer, dude. And you would just be like, no fucking way, dude. Like, we're doing $100, you know, or more. And, like, dudes are checking you.
Yeah.
Like, it's gnarly, dude. And, I mean, but that was the game, dude. Like, it was anything you could do to get in people's heads to go faster. mean, just a lot of shit talking in the paddock. I mean, I don't know if you remember like the Mladen Ease like
They
pair.
had in their contract they couldn't talk to each
Dude,
other.
nuts.
Yeah.
I've watched I've watched some of that stuff unfold like front and center, dude, and it was gnarly, dude. Like him flipping.
And they're on the same team. Right?
Dude, it's nuts. Like I remember watching a lot of that fold, and then you remember like Heron and Eslick, when Eslick was on the whose team was he on? Bruce Rossmeyer on the Suzuki, or he was either on the Buell and Heron was on the Yamaha. I think he was riding for Red Bull at the time. It was like Heron was battling for the championship.
Yeah, they led him like at 1150 against a 600.
But I think it was when Eslick ended up doing the Suzuki the next year or something like that, and they had like battled out, dude. And they like they took each other out. Like I think Eslick either taking Heron out, and Charlotte's Web, dude. Like that was such a big thing. Like, dude, you just get into that stuff, and it's just head game stuff, dude. Those dudes are gnarly.
Well, Julie, you got any other stuff you want to add on? Did you think that when you met me 2010 that we'd actually be doing this right now?
No, not at all. I mean, when he called and told me he was going to do this, I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And I'm like, that's crazy. So, no, I'm glad. I mean, it's so cool to hear some of the stories. And, you know, we talk about this all the time because we have so many friends that still do it. And some people, you know, that we just, like all of a sudden we'll run into somebody we hadn't seen, like you said, in forever. And then the story started. Remember when we did such and such?
Yeah.
Because like you said, back in those times, that racing, Jake grew up there. That was his family. He had no curfew. He did what he wanted to do there because everybody knew who he was. So it was just a different era. I mean, just completely, like I said, it was just all family. I can say honestly, I miss that. I miss that part of it for sure.
Well, you've got like 7 grandkids by now, right? Like, she called me. She's like, I just dropped Jake off. I've got the grandkids in the car. She's telling me all this stuff, and then like as she's hanging up, I hear like a little kid in the background talking.
It's
I'm
probably
like,
mine.
Yeah.
Dude, he's a talker.
Yep. I mean, I've got three, and you know, I hope each one of them finds this, you know, their own passion that they love the way Jake loves bikes.
Yeah, I was literally telling Jake about this right before we started the show. So, like, my goal has been to tell my kid no to racing. Do you want to know why?
Oh, absolutely.
But why do you think I'm doing that?
You want them to go through the same crap.
No, because the more you tell a kid no, the more they want it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. The more you tell any kid no, the more they want it. I don't want my kid at 16 to be like, you know what? I'm done with dirt bikes. I'm done with motorcycles. Like, this sucks. And mainly, it stems from, like, in high school, I watched my friends either get into drugs or get into chicks.
Nope.
Or something like that. And they just drifted off.
Motorcycles leads to the chicks. What do you mean?
Well, yeah, if you stick with it.
I mean, that's the thing. I never really had to worry about a lot of that stuff because, like I said,
because he was stealing panties.
Yeah, he stole the panties. That's for sure.
Dude,
but
I don't remember that story.
I know you say you don't remember, but your dad swears up and down about that.
Dude, I think they like to make shit up.
I feel like your dad stole the panties and he blamed it on you. That's probably what happened.
More of the story. Him or Dwayne. Definitely him or Dwayne.
Him and Dwayne.
That
fucking
one.
Nancy Drew over here figuring shit out.
Fucking weirdos.
Yep. The pedophiles.
That's nice.
That's nice.
Well, it was so good talking to you. I'm so excited that he got to do this, and we could reminisce about all the cool things that, you know, racing brings to a lot of these young kids.
Oh, yeah. No, and I think it's going to get better, honestly. Like, the way that things are going with a lot of stuff. I think road racing is going to get better. I think motocross is going to get better, and it's just going to be
the Harleys
cool.
are bringing it back. I hate to say that, but they are. It's like the natural, like, old
Stokes
superbike.
and I were talking about that.
Dude, those things are fast. So I've rode a one that had a basically, like, I would say it was close to that spec motor. It was like a grudge motor. It was like 160 horsepower Harley. Dude, that thing got down. Like, that thing got down, dude.
Yeah, don't get any ideas. You're not doing nothing like that.
You know what? Hey, I think you have a shot at
Campfire Harley team?
this. Dude, I will show up in my Speedo,
I'm in.
my American flag shirt
do it.
as your umbrella girl.
Let's do it.
Okay? If you can make that
I will
happen.
pay to watch
You
that.
know what? I've got contacts to Archer.
Let's get it.
Let's make it happen.
I need a year though.
Dude, I swear
so out
that'd
of
be
shape.
so funny if
It
somehow
would be so much fun.
Just a
It would
one
be
round
fun.
shootout.
well, just if we somehow got you on one of his baggers, would be hilarious.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
It'd be
Yeah.
fun for sure.
Do you think he'd be like making a Matrix?
Just out there,
Reference.
just ripping it.
Well, no, because it's Keanu Reeves
Oh,
in the
yeah.
Matrix, so
Yeah.
just dodging.
Oh yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, I think we make it happen.
Well, make it.
See it.
You got to figure out how to make it happen.
He's got that. What is that new bike he built? For the hooligan class?
I thought that was Archer.
Yeah, it
Isn't
is the Archer. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
what I
the
was saying.
hooligan thing. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll make it happen. You gonna be out there too, Julie?
Hey, I'll go out there.
Turn
I'll
one,
be happy to watch
2 laps,
that.
quiet.
I will not
You gotta be
talk to
quiet
you
for
for
2
2
laps.
laps.
Don't talk to me for
2
2 laps.
laps.
All right, thanks for calling in.
You're welcome. Talk to you guys later.
See ya. Such a hoot.
Yeah. All right. So now I'm pretty much done with all the stuff, which is hilarious. We're like 2 hours into this, and I just got through my stuff. So now we're going to get into your stuff that you text me.
Yeah, yeah.
So why don't you tell me about 2012 Road Atlanta getting kicked out?
So yeah, did he get kicked out? I almost got kicked out. Chris Turner had the same story I told you about that, where that was like in the 125 days. Track Nazis, dude. These guys hate us. It was me and Josh Heron's brother, Zach Heron, kicking around on pitters, watching, practice like we normally do. If you amateur stuff, you still just go watch, just to watch in corners and see some of the faster guys do things. And we were just come back up through the like pit entrance, like the normal pit entrance. And I think I'm like on a pit scooter or like a TTR 125, and I'm like busting a wheelie up through the paddock, just cruising. There's people, fans walking, and I wasn't even going that fast. I'm just like kind of idling it up the hill, and security dude grabs me. He's like, pull over, and I'm like, what's up? And he rips my credentials off my neck, and he's like, stay right here. And I was like, dude, I can't. I was like, I have to go qualifying, and he was like, no. He's like, stay right here. Luckily, I don't know how familiar with like Cam Red. He's kind of been around. He did some of the SEMA stuff. He like ran SEMA forever on the Supermoto stuff. Chris Turner would be really familiar with him. Happens to be coming by me and Heron's brother, who's also got to qualify, and he's like got us both like by our credentials basically. And I'm like, Cam, you gotta like this guy's taking my credentials. He's not letting me go down in the paddock. And Cam was down there helping me with that weekend, just kind of just helping us out. And he was like, goes talks to this guy. And he's like, let me see his credentials. He's like, I don't like, you're telling me to take his credentials. So somehow he like sneaks my credentials away from this dude, hands them back to me. And he's like, go down to the fucking truck and don't come back out. And so like, I just take off. And Cam like basically was like, you cannot do this to this guy. Like this guy's got qualifying. Like we got this whole team. Like we're putting all this money into this kid. Like, and just like runs us down in the truck. And he like came back down there and he like chews us out. He's like, you guys do not leave the paddock the rest of the weekend. Like, do not leave. They're gonna throw you out of here.
But at least he like it got to happen, and you got the fear of like God put in you. Like, dude,
it's nuts because
fucking chill.
Chris Turner got pulled out, and like I don't think they let him back in. I think Marnie Lincoln, who
he said Swans.
So
helped
Swans
get him
and
back
Marnie Lincoln,
in.
because they were dating at the time, got him back in. But it was like the next morning or something like that. Dude, I just remember that, and I was like, dude, can you imagine getting kicked out of here on like a pro weekend and not being able to qualify, and that be the reason I can't qualify? Like, new team, just getting back like on a full season, like already had struggled in Daytona. This was like second round. I was like, man, I'm cooked.
Yeah, and what sucks with that too is it's like you're just being a kid.
Dude, just having a good time.
You're not destroying anything. You're not being that much of an asshole. Which a lot of times it kind of breaks down to almost like an ego trip for the security guys.
It is.
But it's also you got to understand too, because they
have
were
a
given
job.
a job. Yeah. So I can at least understand
dude,
that one.
plenty of years. I'm sure you've like seen it or like watching us kind of come up. Like, dude, we ran from track security so much. doing stupid things on motorcycles, like in the pits. Because I mean, dude, we raced all day. We're bored in the paddock. There's nothing going on. Like, I remember like Gerloff and all of us like piling in like people's campers and just like playing Xbox. But then like we'd get bored of playing the Xbox. So what do? We'd go ride our pit scooters and like go build tracks in the woods. Like we would know all the loops like out in Road Atlanta, like in the hidden woods and stuff. Like we knew all that stuff. So like they would come find us and just, dude, it was always cat and mouse, and then we'd like play it off. And they'd
Which is funny because like my wife and I've had this conversation before too, where it's like, you know, our kid, he's on his tablet and whatever, and we limit it a good bit.
Yeah.
Kind of because, we force him, hey, you're going to ride with your dad in the trails kind of thing. But also, I feel like that kind of keeps them out of some of the trouble. You know what I mean? Like it kind of keeps their attention. There's that fucking thing.
Me, I brought it.
Will you close your legs?
Dude, sorry.
Yeah.
A little
But
sweat.
no, there's like, I don't know. It's like a weird balance where it's like, hey, they got this thing to keep him out of trouble, but also I'd kind of rather him
get in a
be
little bit of
bored
trouble.
and get into trouble.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So-
I don't know if you saw on like my Facebook. I know you said you did some dirt. There's a picture of me racing a KLX 110.
Dude, I've literally been trying to find it for the past 2 minutes.
It's on my
and for whatever,
Jake Morman Facebook. If you look in it,
I'm on it right now.
let's see if
I'm
I
in
can-
photos of Jake.
Let me see if I can find it and send it to you. But so with that story, it's in a GNF. We had raced for Hooters.
Yeah, you guys are in shorts.
And it started off with like a couple of us, and then it like led to like, dude, a full chaotic.
There it is.
Yeah, full
All right,
chaotic
I got it right now.
pit bike race in the paddock.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right, here it is.
Dude, needless to say, this is around a Porter John, like a row of like 7 Porter Johns, right? Dudes are trying to walk into the Porter Johns while we're racing. Security is on the backside at some point trying to get in, and everybody like locked them down and wouldn't let them come in. And they just were like, it's GNF, it's the blowout, like let the dudes do it. And dude, it ended up getting to like a 10-man race in this fucking thing, dude. And we were just battling pitters around Porter Johns.
Yeah, that was actually, so that was one of the photos that I didn't save. Like at all the other ones that I saved for the show. I'm like,
2010.
oh,
That's
this'll be a good,
crazy.
funny
Yeah,
story.
that was the guy, Blake. He was our teammate on the Hooters team. Super cool dude. But yeah, he had like dude, it was just crazy, dude. We were just ripping this paddock up, dude. Security couldn't get in. They blocked everybody off, so we could just keep ripping. We raced out there for like a good 2-3 hours.
So is that, because the next one I have is the 0708 125 recap race snuck on the track after race on pit bike.
So that was like early into
so
like,
that's not that.
No.
Oh, that's funny.
No, this is in the paddock. Like this is like literally after GNF, like after we had won, Hooters had won. I'd raced with Hooters. We had won the championship for the endurance races, and then I was racing the superbike, and I think I like top 5 like most of the stuff. And I think this was like right before I went pro and like raced AMA stuff. So this is like the end of it. Like I was going into like
The big leagues.
Yeah, it's the big stuff.
Yeah.
And so like we were just going crazy. I think the Gillums ended up like we were on scooters, dude. Like everybody was just going in. I think Gerloff ended up getting in on his like he had like a TTR 90 that he used to ride around all the time. And me and his brother used to just like go build like pitter tracks and just go rip like Talladega, like in that little back start behind the carousel and like the trees.
Oh yeah.
Dude, we used to build nasty pit bike tracks. Like nasty pit bike tracks after like gator backs and stuff, like me and Gerloff and all of us. That's like when we it's funny, we'd battle it like all day.
So that's in Alabama. Did you like invite your cousins in to like make out and
Fiddles, the
stuff?
whole 9.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean,
All right.
You gotta
I just
have
want to make sure.
It's a family reunion. We go.
I love how quick you just fucking fired into it.
We get in the the big corn silo and you know
geez.
start making.
Well, that's
cousin
not by
babies.
the farmhouse. That's like 2 turns away.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, you gotta get over there. Where the party's at, man. It's like what is it? The like golf thing, or like the 9-hole like sprinkler thing.
Oh yeah.
That's the silo.
Dude, I gotta say, did you watch the second Happy Gilmore?
No, I've actually
It's-
recently gotten to golf though, which I never
I'm
thought.
sorry, you're gay.
Yeah.
Well, we already know that. Dude, I hate golf. My wife loves golf. What's funny is anything outside motorcycle related, my golf's into. My wife's into. She's on the shotgun league. She golfs all the time. She was captain of her golf team in high school. Like, yeah, she's a badass.
Remind me
right?
not to ask your wife to go golfing because I would look like a bitch.
Don't ask her to go shooting because she will make you look like even bigger of a bitch.
I'm good.
But like, it's funny because like anything motorsports related, that's my shit. Anything else, that's her shit, kind of thing. So maybe my kid will actually be awesome. I don't know.
Yeah.
We artificially created him in a lab, so
there you go.
There's that. All right, so on to the next one was you sent me 0708 Red Bull Cup.
Yep.
And which I wondered, did that have to tie into the Keith Urban and the commercial, or was that
So yeah,
separate?
it was a little bit of the commercial and stuff. Yeah. I got, we went and did the Rookies Cup tryout thing, and honestly, what's crazy is I don't think anybody really knew. I had gotten into a fight on like a school bus, like before we showed up to the tryout, and I had like ended up punching something and like dislocating my thumb, and so we like just didn't say anything. We were just like, let's just show up. And I remember like walking up to Hayden Gillum, and I was like, hey, I just need you to pull my thumb a little bit and see if it'll like kind of like pop. And he got it to pop.
When you said that to him, did you think that like, oh, he's gonna fart on me?
Oh no, I think he knew. I think I had told him that I had like jammed my thumb, and I wasn't even gonna like show up at one point because we didn't know how bad my thumb was. Like we had gone to the doctor that day, and they were like, you just jammed, maybe broke it. And they're like, we can't do anything. So I had it like in a little brace. Show up there, took the brace off, walked around like nothing was like happening. Before I'd like ride, I'd put it back in the brace and put my glove on. And then like it like kept hurting really bad, so I got Hayden to like pull on it and kind of like, try to relief a little bit. And ended up making the tryout for the next day, and then we ended up making the team. Yeah, nobody knew, but dude, that was such a crazy like just an experience altogether. Like, dude, I mean, they're bringing in some of the fastest kids, and not even just America, but South America, Mexico, like. Dude,
oh, that was like into the States. They were
yeah, dude. They were bringing.
Oh, and then
everybody
from there they go to Europe, kind of thing.
So they brought everybody in. Then they had the 25 that they'd pick in the U.S. and then Europe had their own, and so you could go to either one. So then they did 25 over there, and I think JD Beach went over to Europe and got the Europe one. They ended up winning the championship that year, and then at Indy, when the MotoGP came to Indy, the top 10 going into the points there, or top 12. Raced. So it was like, so it'd have been top 12, so 24.
Yep.
And then at the end of the year, they would go to Valencia, Spain to race.
That's where Chris Turner's story came from. That was hilarious.
And so that's the one I lost, but like I got out like by 2 points because I didn't race the IR and all that stuff. But so I mean, dude, it was just such a sick experience, like racing. Like they really like it helped like going into like pro careers and stuff because they like taught you how to like talk and like interviews and everything. Like you go to golf outings like pro guys would do. Like they would like we went to Mid Ohio. They sent a couple of us to like a golfing outing at like Mid Ohio's golf course. I remember one of the dudes snapped the head off of it, and like Aaron Yates was there, and like his kid was like, dude, probably
Ashton.
Yeah, Ashton.
Yeah. Dude, I didn't even know that he had a kid named Ashton, and I just somehow like with Facebook friends it brought it up, and I was like, Ashton, that's weird. Aaron. And I clicked, I'm like, he just fucking won a championship.
Yeah, dude.
And they're out of Milledgeville, right?
Yeah, out of Milledgeville. They used to go to the Herons a lot. So I used to ride with him when he was kind of like coming in on like the 150R and stuff.
Yeah.
And but dude, he was so young then. He was ripping on the golf cart. You could just hear him locking it up and sliding it and stuff. We ended up breaking like a couple golf clubs, and like, dude, none of us knew how to golf. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We was just like a kind of like a celeb outing kind of thing. But dude,
I don't know. I think you could kill it right now. Currently.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna tell you. After getting fucked up, that was probably the most thing I was bummed about. I started getting kind of decent at golf recently, and I'm like, damn, I can't go golfing, dude. I'm telling you, I like when I get into something, I'm full in it. So like, I got my dad and me went and got some golf clubs on my birthday this year.
My father and I, but okay, we're not gonna talk about the 12-hour thing.
Oh my gosh, whatever, dude. And dude, I just been ripping.
Sorry, buddy.
No, you're good. I just been ripping golf since, like, just ran. And I have a golf course, like less than a mile from my house.
Look, I'm upset that you're excited to play golf and not sneak out on your dirt bike.
Oh.
Okay.
So, a story about this. Me and my buddy Preston, the one I was telling you about.
Yep.
We have a buddy who goes and plays golf a lot. He's like one of our good buddies, like younger like stepbrothers. We, most of our buddies have like our locations from riding and stuff, and just dude, we just like fuck with each other all the time.
Yeah.
So we're like, where is he at, man? So we're looking for our buddy Brody, and we look on our phone, and he's like, I told you, dude, I'm like a mile from the golf course, right? He's on this golf course, back 9, and he's out there golfing. And I told you about the Honda Elites that we had bought. So all my buddies have them. So me and him are on Honda Elites. He's like, let's just go find them. And I'm like, dude, we're about to roll out like on a pretty decent course. Like, this is a nice course. Do we go back? We come ripping through like people on these scooters. It's just me and him, just cutting through neighborhood.
Please tell me you're full leathers and full face helmet.
Dude,
we're like so much better.
We're like skateboard helmets, rolling in on these 2-stroke scooters.
All right, that might be better.
Pull up, find him, and he's just like, his eyes just like got so big. He was like, am I getting kicked out of here? And so my buddy Preston ends up playing like the last like round for him, and then driving off the second tee box for him.
Yeah.
Turns around and tees off and jumps the tee box on a scooter on this course, dude. And then we just come ripping through there. And then another story about like the golf course, which is funny, is there's like a country club in our town, like super, like probably the nicest golf course around our town, right? Like within like a probably 15-20 mile radius. We're ripping one night on them, and we're just like wheeling the scooters around, kind of playing around in town. This truck starts following us, so we think it's like an undercover. So we just dip off into like this country club, like super nice green, and we're ripping down the greens, like start from like hole probably 2 or 3, and we end up on like the back 18, out the backside, out the gate, and like ripped out. We just like ripped the course up. And like I'm sending my buddy this video of this course, and he's like, dude, that is the nicest course that we have in town. He's like, if they find out about you guys, like, he was like, y'all are cooked. Dude, we had the best time. We brought one of our buddies, like younger brothers, and we're like, he was like, man, I don't know if we can do this. I was like, I guess you're stuck here getting caught. And we just took off through the golf course. Dude, we've done so much stuff on those scooters, dude. It's like, we thought we'd stay out of trouble on them. Dude, we get more trouble on those scooters than we do anything.
Which, it's funny, you said the Elite, and I was like, yeah, I remember those, and I did, but I was thinking of the Spree.
No, yeah,
So
the Honda Elite, the F,
is
and
like-
they have like the S and the SR, and you can mod the motors, dude. Like my buddies, like I have some buddies with like 70 kits on them, and they do like
It's
60.
like the Zumas. Dude, you can
like the
mod
two-stroke
those
pre-mods,
fucking
or the
Zumas.
pre-bugs. Yeah, it's basically those. Because David Cryer used to have the two badass ones.
Dude, I should have texted. Oh,
dude,
I'm so upset
I
I
went and
didn't
stayed at his
text Dave.
house for a weekend, right? When I was probably about that age. And he has, one, like 2 of these, like the 110s with the super motor.
Yeah, and he can barely touch the ground on them.
Yeah. So his kid was young at the time, and he has a track in his backyard. He had that little like pitter in that nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
Dude, he has like videos of me ripping that backyard up. And then I think I like was about to leave. My parents were coming to get me, and I think I broke the pre-bug. I like snapped the exhaust off the head somehow, and I like roll it back. I'm like, hey, here's your scooter. And I got back in the truck and left.
Sorry, buddy.
But dude,
my parents are here. Bye.
It's good hanging out. But yeah, dude, I was.
But you know what? He loved it.
Dude,
Yeah.
he did. Dude, he talked about that forever, dude.
Yeah.
Because he had those 110s, and we were just back there battling, banging bars, just having a good time.
Yeah, he lives up in LJ now. Actually, for the movie premieres, the last time I saw him in person, but we've been texting a good bit since then.
Such a good dude.
Yeah. All right, so we already talked about missing finger. We talked about VIR after surgery, which it's funny that we got into these things naturally, not even going into the list.
Yeah.
So the next thing, and I think I have pictures of this. 2009, first year Superbike. Tell me if I have the right.
Rough freaking year on a Superbike, dude. I was so small. I think I had only.
Is this that picture?
No, so this is Daytona, 2011.
Oh, so that's not even this picture.
No, this is
All right,
Daytona.
so just so you guys know, the caption I have is 2009 first year Superbike Savannah race bike cut in half.
Dude, no, so this is Daytona. First pro year. So we had tested at we got invited to the Daytona Dunlop tire test. And we were just like on just I think a super stock bike or whatever. So they put the super stock and that was when they were in the Daytona class together.
Yeah.
And so this is in Daytona.
So is this your face seeing the bike for the first time?
No, this is at the tire test. We were just talking. So that's Mesa, and this is I think his name was, if I can remember, it was like Emery. So he raced with me on the Red Bull team.
All right, so this and that are
2 different weekends. But
Jesus.
so that was the test, and then this was the actual first weekend of racing.
All right.
So we went to the tire test. Dude, we got screwed by a guy like prior to this. Like
That's one of
going
those
into
things
racing.
you don't talk about. You got screwed by a guy.
Yeah. Like going into this round, like almost didn't show up. Like didn't almost have a bike. Showed up to the tire test. They put the 2 classes together, and somehow we ended up like coming out of there at the tire test 7th fastest on a super stock bike. And I was like, we were just shocked. Like, never been to Daytona before. Like, dude, wild. Like, have you raced there?
No, I've never been there. Well, I've raced the Supercross there.
I've been told, and I didn't believe it when I first went out there. They were basically like, you hit the banking, you better be where you want to be in the saddle because you're not moving.
Yeah, I remember Opie and Billy telling me like they have Daytona. They call it like Daytona bumps or Daytona chest, where it's just like,
dude,
hitting their chest, so they get these like bruises on them.
Oh yeah, like you basically once you tuck and you hit the banking, you're locked in.
Yeah,
like you're locked in. You don't want to like you can't even hardly turn your head. Like you turn, dude, and you're just like looking at the other banking. Like you're so up there. And I remember somebody telling me they're like, turn 4, when you get to the end of this like Daytona thing on the wall, you start coming off the wall, and you start driving down to get the drive down the straightaway. And dude, what an experience that was, like at the tire test, and like just gnarly first time ever going to Daytona, and then coming out of there like pretty fast. And so like we were kind of hyped up. We're like, all right, first pro year is gonna go really good, and go up to the race, dude. I think we like first qualifying, dude, like 25th or 26th. Like could not get the bike to do what we wanted to, like at the test, and it was weird because it was colder at the test and it had rained the day before, and then we go here and it's like warmer. It's March, you know, like that was back in January, February, and I'm like, man, like we gotta figure something out. So then we're working with like Olin's the year, so they're like trying to cut a custom spring to try to get the bike to turn and like all this stuff, man. So we go into the second qualifying. They were like 5 or 6 laps in. Me and Mesa usually kind of get the buddy system on the banking. You know what I mean? And you just try to
because you can draft each other.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So it's a buddy system usually, and some guys don't want that. Some guys do. Some guys, or they kind of like hide and stuff. Like it told you it's a head game thing, but there's a buddy system if you got somebody you can trust. Me and Mesa are kind of tagging with each other, drafting, and we come into turn 1, and I had like sucked in on him like fast coming into turn 1.
You did
Yeah.
what? You just
Yeah.
Let's say it again. You did what?
I kind of got pulled in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Deeper than like I've seen anybody. I was like, man, I think there's room for braking in here. And, like I'm watching Superbike 600 guides, and I'm like, there's some room to brake here. So I come in there, get the bike slowed down, and I go past them with some Mach speed, get it turned in, pick up the throttle, bike just launches me. Just high side.
So you found out real quick why other people aren't doing that kind of thing.
I'll be honest, like my dad, even after like he's told like you asked my dad about it, he literally has been like when he saw me go into that corner, me and him like Mesa like come in there because we were like I think at the top of the leaderboard at the time, and he literally was like, somebody's not coming out of that corner. Like he knew, like he knew we were in there. Me and Mesa were putting down some laps, and I think he was on Ducati that year, and I turned in, picked up the throttle, and I just remember hearing the bike light, and I remember seeing the back of my number plate, and and then woke up, woke up on the track, and I was just sliding, and I saw my glove sliding toward me, like it blew my gloves off my hands, like it, dude. In Mesa, I remember him telling me like after, like he was telling people, like he was riding through bike particles. And watching people ride through bike particles, and my bike almost got ran over. He said I had almost gotten ran over, and they red flagged it. Like he didn't even make it through the bowl, and they had already red flagged it.
Yeah.
I had hit the wall. Like I don't know if you remember, like back in the day where Miguel Dumel had high side L1 right there and like crashed. So I did the same thing, but I ended up in the wall right there. I don't know how, but he said the way like he remembered telling me is it bucked, and I saved it, and then it bucked again, and then it just threw me.
Ejectocito.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Yep.
And I was running Dying Easy that year, and you know, I don't know if you know their boots, like they have almost like ankle braces already in them, like carbon braces.
Yeah.
Dude, no break in the carbon, and I had shattered my ankle. Like I had broken at both balls.
So that would have to be like a direct down hit.
Yep.
Then
Basically, they said how I hit. Like I just.
Or like a forward hit
like a
into
forward
the wall.
hit. And I basically broke at both balls of my ankle. I remember waking up at the track and I just couldn't feel my legs. And I was just laying there. I'm like, you know.
I'm Lieutenant Dan.
I'm 16, 17 years old, dude. I'm like, dude, can't feel my legs. I can't hardly breathe. My gloves are like blowing off my hands. And I just like pass back out. Wake up in the ambulance on a stretcher. And they're like, what hurts? I was like, I can't feel my legs. So then they take me to the track paramedics. And they're like, I'm starting to kind of get some more feeling in my legs. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm not paralyzed. So that's a good sign. Yeah. And they were like, and then I just get this super sharp pain down my leg, dude. And it's just out of control. And I remember vividly, like the nurse taking my boot off and my foot just like flat on the table.
Oh, like flopped out.
Just flat on the table, dude. And I just was like, and I just remember her head like turning, like, this is gnarly.
Yeah.
And I had torn a bunch of stuff in my knee. And so I was in so much pain. They wouldn't let my parents, they wouldn't let anybody in the back, like at the time, because they didn't know what was going on. Like at one point, they thought I was paralyzed. Like now my ankle's just like flopping basically. Like I'm just destroyed. I just hit the wall. Like, you know, I was unconscious for a while. And I think they finally let my mom in there. And so they kind of hung out in there for a while. And but they shot me with 2 big things of morphine, which come to find out I'm allergic to.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they get ready to release me. I'm on the phones with Schwantz, and I'm like, he's like, how are you, bud? Like, he's at the track, but he's like on the way, and he's trying to talk to me, and we're just like talking to him, and I'm on the phone with him, dude, and I'm looking at my mom, and she said my eyes just roll in the back of my head, and I hit the fucking table and pass out. And so they like throw me in an ambulance. And
so is that from the morphine?
Yeah. They almost killed me with the morphine.
Oh my God.
So they're rushing me. They're putting me on IVs. They're hauling ass to Daytona Speedway, like the hospital there.
Mm-hmm.
Rush me in there and like get me on all these fluids, and they're like watching me for like most of the day. They do some more X-rays. You know, my ankle's broke, tore a bunch of stuff in my knees. But yeah, dude, they were like, you can no longer take more. Like you will die.
Yeah.
So like now, like even when I get hurt,
because that's the thing. Like if you get stung by a bee and you're allergic to them, you could be okay. But the second time you get stung, it could be like fatal.
So that's what happened. I think that's what happened because when I raced, when I lost my finger, I had morphine in my system.
Yeah.
There, and I always felt weird when I came out of there, like for a couple days. But dude, when I left after that, dude, it took me probably like a good solid month to like kind of like get kind of normal with my system.
Jeez.
But yeah, dude, like I would get dizzy, and they, I think I was on crutches or like in a wheelchair at the time when they released me back out of there, and I was at the track. And I think I was had to go to the bathroom, and I was just being a hard-headed fucking kid. And I was like, I just want to go to the bathroom. Yeah, I was like, I just want to go to the bathroom by myself. Like, I don't
You
need
wanted to
fucking,
crank one off.
Exactly.
I knew what's
I
going
was like,
on.
I just don't want anybody to fucking, I don't want to be fucking watched, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, it's more, I said that as a joke, but like, it's more like I'm a man. Like, I can do shit on my own.
Yeah, like, you took the hit, like, let's roll with it.
Yep.
And, dude, luckily there was a fucking dude in there. I passed out because of the morphine still in my system. Jeez. And it almost fucking dropped me. And so they were just trying to get me to eat anything, dude. I couldn't eat. And then I ended up staying for the flat track race like that night. And I just kept getting sicker. And so we just loaded up in the fucking car and went home. And Kevin helped me try to find a doctor and a bunch of other people. And came home and went to a doctor. And he basically told me my ankle would be healable. Didn't think he needed surgery, but he was like, we'll see how it goes over time, but like it's gonna be a long recovery time. But then he like looked at my knee and did the X-rays, and he was like, he like came back in the room. I mean, you know, dude, you've probably trained or watched people train, like guys that would just like try to go pro, and you know it's pro year.
Yep.
Basically walks in there and is like, yeah, you're done riding. And I was like, whoa, wait, what'd you say? And he's like, yeah, you're done riding, dude. He's like, you're lucky you're walking. And I'm like, dude. Like he said my knee was just so mangled that he was like, you're done. Like, he's like, you've torn everything in it. Like, it's just, you're going to need surgeries and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, this is not like what I want to hear.
Yeah.
So, like, he walks out of the room, dude, I'm just bawling. You know, my mom's in there. My mom's bawling. She's like, dude, I don't know what to do. So we call Kevin. We're like leaving, and they're like, dude, he's basically saying he's done riding. So Kevin makes a bunch of calls. We end up getting in with the Falcons like football trainer, like their doctor.
Yeah.
And it's like Dr. X is what they called him. Show up to his office. Took us for like we ended up getting in on like this like last minute call with him and like showing up that week. And he like walks in and he's like looking at the X-rays and starts yanking on my leg, dude. Worst thing ever. Like, dude didn't give a shit though. He was like, he's there for business. Like, you want to fucking be an athlete? You're gonna see it. Yanks on my knee for a while and looks at my mom and like looks at me. He's like, how bad you want to race? And I was like, dude, you don't even understand. Like, this is my life. And he looked at my mom and he's like, no surgery. We're not gonna do surgery. He was like, we're gonna do a lot of PT. He's like, and that's gonna be our make or break for his career. And he was like, he's either gonna be really in this thing or he's gonna be out of it.
Yeah.
And he sent me this chick, hot chick, my ass. Dude, she beat my ass. And I went to her like 2 or 3 times a week or something like that. And shout out to my grandpa, dude. My grandpa drove me around, fucked up forever. Took
You
me
sure
to
it
all my
wasn't
PTs.
him wanting to see the hot chick too?
Could have been.
So, yeah.
Could have been.
Maybe.
Could have been.
But,
But
little, say, yeah, work that knee some more.
dude, he did. He took care of me, man. And dude, like at the time before I like started going to this doctor and or to like therapy because they wouldn't let me go to therapy because my knee was so swollen that my leg was actually stuck. The muscle had grown, so I couldn't do anything. So my grandpa had 2 knee replacements, and he had this. I don't know if you ever seen they're like mini coolers with like pumps hooked up to them.
Yes.
And they circulate ice.
Circulates
So my grandpa
cold
put
thing
that
through
on
it.
there.
Yeah.
And I stuck that on there. And dude,
Did they do that with the things that bring your legs back and forth?
I had a hand do that with a hand one.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
So I'm in a cast. They wouldn't even put me in a hard cast because they didn't even want me walking on my ankle. So they put me in an air boot and were like, do not walk on it. If you fucking walk on it, you're not riding. So I'm in this thing. My grandpa, dude, I was pissing in Gatorade bottles. I was staying in my room playing like video games, just whatever, just trying to like get through it.
MX versus ATV Unleashed.
Dude, you already know.
Yeah.
Man. And so I'm just trying to get by. We finally get in there and do the PT, and that's when I came back and raced at Barber and almost put it on the box. But dude, that was that. When I tell you that chick, so she was kind of a smart ass, which I think that's why I enjoyed doing PT with her.
Yeah.
She like the first PT like where she really was working me. She drops like a towel or like a microfiber on the ground. She's like, you pick things up with your toes. I was like, yeah, who the fuck can? She was like, all right, well, didn't do it, big shot, dude. Couldn't even
do
beat
it?
my toes.
Oh,
Dude, you're talking about a razor blade all the way up my body from it. Like I was sitting down kind of and almost buckled like on the table, and she started laughing, and she was like, yeah, she's like, I thought so. And she fucking picks up the rack and pulls out like Jackson marbles and sticks them on the ground. And I was sticking them in a cup with my toes, and that's how I had to learn They had to build my bottom of my foot strength from my toes all the way at my ankle before they could do anything. And then I had to start doing my knee, and then I slowly like started building. But the shout out to her because she beat my ass, and I think she knew I wanted to race, and she kicked my ass, dude. She was hot, but she kicked my ass.
dude, it's funny, and I wonder if it's the same chick, because it was in Morrow, Georgia, that I had to go through this when I blew my knee out right before my kid was born. Chick was on Survivor. It was like a skinny black chick, but she was brutal the same way.
Yeah.
And I don't remember her. I just remember being like, fuck, this chick's kind of pretty good looking. And then the guy told me, he's like, yeah, she was on Survivor. She's told me all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, I don't remember what season, what year, what name, but yeah, like she was fucking brutal. But honestly, I appreciated that.
Oh, 100%.
Way better than somebody that was like, yeah, maybe you'll get it next time. You know what I mean? Like, you want somebody as a racer to fucking
beat your ass.
Yeah. It's just to make you better. Which honestly, like, we hadn't talked in a while. We honestly haven't talked about life stuff for a while, but I hope you realize with what you've gone through from that, and this is how I look at my life, with the racing shit I've gone through, where I was, where I got to, nothing in my life is going to be as hard as that.
Oh,
you know?
dude, no. Like, some of the stuff I've done, dude, I'm like... Yeah. And that's what I was thinking about that. Like, you think about, like, the ups and downs of racing. Like, I don't, like... I don't know how far you really went with like the motocross stuff and stuff like that.
Like
but,
local pro, not even
so-
close to what you got to.
You know,
kinda
like,
thing.
and I'm sure if you ask like Chris Turner or any of the guys that like been on here that race, like the ups and downs, dude, is gnarly.
Yeah.
Like when the highs are high, dude, and like you've seen like a lot of like, I mean, you've been around enough racing to watch it. Like the highs are great, dude, but them lows, people don't really know about those lows.
Yeah, but the lows is where you find who
Oh,
you
yeah.
are.
Oh yeah,
But honestly, like with what I was the shittiest person on the track that could barely make a lap to where I got to. So I take that like progression, you
Yeah.
know. But you probably started more like middle of the pack and got to this badass kid kind of thing.
dude, I don't know. I remember like I remember I listened to the podcast with Chris Turner, and he was talking about the Seamer stuff where he like started in the back and then like through the season he was like fast. So that was me in the Seamer stuff, dude. Like was on XR80 like horrible to like getting on like a 65 and like an 80 and just like waxing
Yeah.
everybody. And it was funny because I think what killed my like confidence going to the supermoto stuff was like when I was on the pocket bikes. I like showed up to the pocket bike first round, like we didn't know nothing about racing at the time. Like my dad like went to the races and stuff like that and like kind of knew, but we like didn't know anything about it. Dude showed up in like motocross gear with like tennis shoes and won. Like beat everybody. And
Yeah.
then like people were helping us and like trying to like get us like suits and stuff and like telling us what companies. And then we ended up like getting picked up by like a Polini GRCC team.
Oh, that's cool.
And so that was cool as shit, dude. And we raced their bikes like all year. And then yeah, like we had like won a bunch of championships on it, and like I think it was like 2005, 2006. But yeah, dude. And then I think I went straight to like the supermoto stuff, and like yeah, it's a different animal. Like going from the pocket bikes to that with like a clutch and stuff and trying to understand the clutch. Dude, I got my ass waxed a lot. Like I was a big mid pack to like rear pack guy for a while. It's funny because like the first bike I had to race was the XR80, and the way I learned how to ride a clutch was like this like trails like out by us. If my dad's watching this, I'm sure they'll laugh. And they were like, yo, just slow down. Like there's some puddles and shit. And I don't think we were even there 10 minutes. Straight into the first fucking puddle, over the bars, bike stuck. Straight up and down. And they were just fucking pissed. But they were laughing. And we had to drag this bike out of the fucking woods, like out of this mud hole. And he was like, away from the mud puddles, slow the fuck down. Like we're gonna learn how to ride the clutch. And that's how I learned how to ride clutch on like an actual like motorcycle, was that way. And then I kind of just got better. And then I remember them. Do you know who Chad Herman is? Have you heard of him? So he was like a local fast guy. He actually won a lot of the Suzuki Cup stuff back when like Opie and them were racing and stuff like that. Like he had won one year. Like it took all of it, 600, 750, 1000, I think. He had a supermoto track in Loganville. I don't know if you ever knew about the supermoto track in Loganville.
I've heard something about it. Yeah,
So
yeah.
they used to own it. So we used to go out there and train like day in and out. Him and my sister like grew up in school together and stuff like that. And like I think they had like found out we had raced, and so we ended up like linking together, dude. And I basically just left my like supermoto bikes over at his house, and he would come get me from school. I'd show up at his house, and we'd ride from the time I left school till it got dark. Like we would ride until we couldn't see anymore.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I was on the Mini, and my dad and them were so mad at me because I was just trail braking like a puss that they took my front brake off my bike.
Oh shit.
And we're like, I don't care if you're in first gear and you crash in every fucking corner. Until you can get through the corners without crashing, we'll give you your front brake back. Dude, it took me like half a day till
But you figured it out.
Dude, figured it out.
Yeah.
My sister, we even got my sister out there on a TTR 125 one time, crashed her brains out, bro. But she started figuring it out, like, and she was kind of quick, like, and it was kind of funny, dude, because like that was like the first time she had ever done anything like that. But it was just never had rode a clutch, never had done anything like that. We taught her, dude, and she crashed. Like I said, she crashed her brains out. But it was such a cool experience to do it. Like I'd come around her and like yell at her and stuff, like on laps and stuff. But yeah, dude, they did some weird fucking tricks to get me to like do stuff through the like. We used to ride the school parking lot, and they would start me like big circles, dragging my knee, and then I would get tighter and tighter and tighter, and then I'd swap. And just stupid tricks they did, but dude, it helped me racing. Like I was growing up, and I was just like, now that I look back at it, I'm like, dude, they really like. They had some fucking weird shit, but it worked. Like it did work.
What'd your mom just text me?
Oh, dude, it's fucking some stories.
Oh, it's the picture of your dad on the 900.
From like old days?
No.
Or right
like,
now?
I think right now.
If he looks. Oh shit! Hey, check this picture out of him. Back in the day, dude. This is him.
This back in the day, or is this?
No, this is like OG him 900 days.
No, but the one I just showed
no,
you.
that's new. That's like
Okay.
recent. This is 96.
Oh yeah.
Had the AGVs. He had an AGV helmet, or no, I think the Swami helmets, and they had AGVs and AGV boots. And then my uncle did the same thing. They were like those matching dudes. I used to give him hell for. I told him that today. I said, I'm gonna go buy you some vintage AGVs and stuff so you can go live your glory days back in the day.
Like he needs like the Pit Vipers before they were Pit Vipers, right?
Exactly.
Whatever brand that was, right?
Yeah.
Needs the flow hair.
Dude, he used to have a killer mullet. Killer, like Mexican mullet.
Hey, Daniel might get a little upset about
I think
that.
Daniel would be proud.
I've actually got a mullet wig in my passenger seat of my truck right now that I've
Dude.
worn twice this week.
That's
I don't
what
know
I
what
like
I'm
to
talking
hear.
about. But all right. So I do feel like we're starting to wrap up to the end, and honestly, I started looking at some of the other things. Talked about the Daytona tire crash, and then 2011 Daytona crash. I don't know if that was part of it.
No, the tire test, and then it was probably a crash. I probably got them mixed up or something when I was
Yeah,
typing.
and then you got 2011 first AMA race back Barber finishing 4th. You said you almost podiumed, so I don't know if you wanted to go into that.
Yeah, that was that weekend that like with Huey and everybody.
Mhm.
Yeah, dude, it was just one of them races that clicked off, and like I think I had looked up at the leaderboard coming out of the chute, at Barber, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm up here." And then like I kept seeing the leader, like my pit board was like, "You're in 4th, and you're like so far behind," and I just kept seeing the leaderboard, like it just kept closing, and I was like, "Oh, I have some gas in this thing." And like I said, dude, I got down to like the last lap, caught her with like 2 laps to go, and I was just everything I could to like.
So that
reel
was
it.
Elena that was in 3rd?
Yeah. And I think it was who was it? It was Benny Solis, and I don't know who else was leading, but they were battling, and I don't think we were far behind them. But like they had checked away, and I think like Elena had like worn her tires, like because she was like leading up there, and she kind of got dropped from that. And but yeah, I was trying to reel her in, dude, and just could not make it happen. But she was fast, man. I remember racing her all the way through like amateurs and stuff. I mean, she was just like one of them chicks that were just fast.
Yeah.
Like,
have you talked to her recently? I think she's in Georgia now.
She's in Georgia.
Yeah.
She's got a kid. I have her on like Facebook.
I think she
but
has 2 or something.
I haven't talked to her in a while, dude. Like, it's funny. Like, I kind of got out of the racing and just like I talked to certain people. Yeah, I kind of did.
Yeah.
I still talk to Lewis here and there. Like, we'll talk and stuff. I've talked to the Beach here and there. Like the Gillums parents and stuff like that. And I talked to the Gillums here and there. It's funny. I like see Chris Turner and all those guys sometimes, but we don't really interact. I just see them post and stuff. And like, Gerloff's brother follows me on stuff, and like we'll randomly like poke at each other here and there. But like, kind of one of those things like Evelyn and all them at WERA, like they'll kind of comment and stuff. But for the most part, no, man. I just kind of like said when I was like kind of pushed away, which I feel like I wouldn't say shitty, but like, you know what I mean? Like something you love so much that you kind of just like, you're either in or out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't, because you're always going to want to stay in.
Yeah. Do you feel like part of that's just like you kind of expected it to be the rest of your life, and it's like hard to accept it wasn't? So you kind of push away a little bit, or
No,
not really
I think
that?
like at the time, like when I was coming up on the super bikes, dude, like if you think about like 2005, 2006, like when like the Corona team and all these factory teams are huge, dude. Like I think you remember even Eslick was like on like a privateer team, dude. They were making like 50, 60 G's like a weekend, you know what I mean? And then like I feel like the 08 economy, once that year crashed, dude, it took a lot of it out. And then we still thought the like big bikes were going to be a thing, and then we started like finding out, like, you know, you kind of get deeper in with certain people, and like, dude, people were paying for rides at some point, like, and paying a lot of money. Like even like Jordan's team came up to us like for 2011, I think it was, and they wanted us to pay. And dude, the number on it was like, who the fuck has kind of money like that for
Yeah.
like a whole year? And like it was kind of like one of those things. Like if we had that kind of money, like we could probably run with you guys. Like, but I mean, I get it. Like you're gonna be on a basically factory bike. You show up and do your thing, and even like smaller teams, dude, you're like kind of paying to stay like in a spot. And the thing is, like I've watched guys like racing, and I'm sure some of the guys that have been around, like you watch guys that were racing, and you've probably seen Supercross stuff too. Like you win like a whole championship for these dudes, and then you see the dudes with no ride the next year.
Yeah.
And it's like, how does that happen? And I think a lot of it was just people getting bought out of the rides, and like the teams were just trying to stay in the sport. So they would take the money over the like winning championships, and they would take the, top 5 guy to at least be in the top 5 all the time. Maybe not win a championship or battle for it.
Yep.
But like then you see
Because they can afford that guy.
exactly they
Yep.
can afford this guy. And it's kind of one of those things, man. It's just like I think I saw it coming, and it was just like such drama and just like all the bull crap where like
Yeah, where you're like, I'm not about that life.
I got hurt, dude, and like that one year, and then like I had a bunch of people drop me that I didn't think were gonna drop me, and then the first year, like coming back in 2012 racing, I had like been training, dude, all season, like off season, dude. It's probably the biggest program I had put together training, and after Daytona, I had like a really rough weekend. I think I finished I think I finished 12th or 13th, and like maybe a top 10.
Mm.
I was just, we even showed up to the WERA race, like at Roebling, we went straight from Daytona, went there testing. Struggled, bro. Like, probably the slowest I've ever been. I felt like guys that were like keeping up with me just shouldn't have been keeping up with me. And so I just like put in like a really hard training program to like really like up it up. And I got sick. I had overly dehydrated my body from training so much. And it was actually giving me heart problems. And a lot of people didn't know about that. And so everybody, like after Road Atlanta, I kind of disappeared, but it was because I had to like, they were trying to figure out what it was. And for like 2 months, I was riding my bicycle, like training every time. And every time my heart would have an issue, I'd have to stop and put a scanner on it and scan my heart for what it was doing, and then record it. And then give it back to my doctor, and he literally like was like, "You're just overtraining." He's like, "You're literally so dehydrating your body." He's like, "I know what you're doing, but he's like, you're overly dehydrating your body so bad that your body is like fighting itself, and it's like eating yourself from inside out."
Jeez.
And so
and there's a lot of like that's well known to happen, like Epstein-Barr kind of thing.
Yep.
So
yep.
And you were dealing with that with road racing,
dude. Just training, dude. I was just like, I wanted to come back that year. Like I had a new crew chief, which was Jake Lewis's crew chief from the year before. Like I said, like I've had a lot, and he's such a solid dude. Like, he came off of winning championships like back to back almost years, I think, with Jake Lewis, and so like, I think when he came to us, like everybody thought like, Jake's gonna come back this year. Like he had really good runs at the GNF the year before, like that weekend before. Like he's gonna do something this year. I think it was just a lot of pressure, to be honest with you. Like I said, you get your highs and your lows, and like I was already on a low of just like struggling the year before and not really racing a full season of like my pro year. And
and you were probably just like, it's gonna come. Like I'm gonna hit the next high.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. So you just
And
push. And
I
push
pushed,
and
man.
push.
And I think I did decent. I think I got like 2 top 10s at Road Atlanta, but I still struggled a little bit. And I was like, man, like I gotta get something together. And that's when I started I started feeling it around that time, and we didn't really know what it was. And I like kind of like sat my parents down. I was like, man, there's something wrong. And so I started going to the doctor and stuff. So I just started like slightly training. I had a buddy that like wasn't really like, I would say he was like a pro, like fast guy. He was just kind of like a mid pack guy, like racing always, but he just trained all the time. And I ended up like linking up with him. He lived in Watkinsville. And, dude, I trained with that guy, and like he kind of got me going. And he started racing bicycles, and then I started racing bicycles, and then I was like, this is fun.
I was wondering where you got into the bicycle
So it
thing.
was from
So that
him.
makes sense.
And and then Perry Melmachek actually started getting into that. And so then he started showing up this stuff, and I was like, I told my parents, I was like, why don't we take a couple rounds off? Let's do this, and then we'll regroup. Like we're kind of already on that thing, like we're on that like hard line of like, are we racing anymore, or like where we're at? And I think I finally like sat my parents down. I was like, dude, like it's not worth the burden and the money pit that we're putting in. I'm obviously like, I'm fast, and I think I could do this, but like at what's the cost?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And which I kind of wonder, like, I wish they would call in right now and tell me how they felt in that moment, because like I'm sure it was like a relief off their shoulders.
Dude, I think they were shocked.
Really?
I think they were shocked that I even like came to them and told them I was done riding. But
Yeah.
like my dad was super like about like he was like I think they've so like you've been around racing. I've had buddies that passed away racing. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of them. And people we watch them, and that was like one thing they would see. They would come up to me and go, "What do you want to do? Like, you know, like if you want to walk away from this, like, no, it's cool. Like we understand. Like, you know, you got to have the right mindset. You're the one that's going this fast on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I mean, you're putting your mind. If your mind's not there and you're doing 180, dude. I mean, you're with a bunch of dudes that are fast. Like, you either can kill them or you can kill yourself. Like, you know, it's a make or break. And so if your mind's not there, like, I think they understood. Like, if I wasn't in the right mindset going into these rounds, and I was at like a real low, and I just was like, hey, I need a break. And then my dad was like, look, we just need to take the race season off. Whatever you want to do, like I'm supporting you. If we want to come back next year, if you want to come back in a year and a half, like we'll do whatever we gotta do. We'll regroup.
Yeah.
And he was fully supported. And then, like I said, I started getting into the mountain bike and stuff, and he kind of got into it with me. I started like just riding and stuff, and dude, we had a blast. And I think I finally came to him, like I said, and kind of just walked away from it, all of it. And I think I just like I called a bunch of sponsors through that year, and we're like, hey, this is my goal. Like I think I'm gonna walk away for a while, and you know, if I come back, I'll come back, and if I don't, you know, thank you for everything. And I had some sponsors that were like a Rye helmets, dude. I came in long with those guys for years, bro. Like years, and they basically told me as long as I have a motorcycle or I'm riding, they're like, you're good, bro.
Yeah.
Like we'll get you hooked up.
One thing I hated about you riding mountain bikes, just how gay you looked, bro.
Dude,
like
so
look at this shit that you were
Dude,
wearing.
let me tell you, the best shape of my life.
Like, do you have a wiener? Like, what is going on? You've got
She's
a
tummy tucked.
You got the what do they call it? Like the gap?
mangina?
No, like the chive gap or something.
Little thigh gap?
I don't.
You look at my thigh gap?
I'm seeing a thigh gap right here,
my
bro.
chod?
I don't know. No, that's one thing that I always crack up about.
That's
like,
actually
mountain bike
a
guys.
Georgia championship jersey, like a state jersey. You have to win, like you have to like race a certain race to like win that jersey.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised dude, I got into it heavy, man. And honestly, it's crazy because I ended up getting more into the mountain bike stuff. But I like the road stuff really helped me. But I love the mountain bike stuff. Dude, I would do like 8-hour, 12-hour, 24-hour races.
Yeah.
Dude, they were a blast. But my dad would do them with me. I remember we did one at Fort Yargo one time, and he wanted to do this at 6-hour with me. And usually, like I was pretty fast, like on the mountain bikes, just from like I think just from my background, like I could just rip corners and just the speed was coming natural.
Yeah.
I came out with like a 10-minute lead, right, in this race. And I told my dad, I was like, I'm going to do one more lap, get another, like, bridge gap pretty good, then you can go. I'm like, but dude, it's fucking a soup kitchen. Like, it had rained the day before. I'm like, just easy. So I'm like, I kind of know what his lap times are. Like, we train, you know, out there. It's pretty close to the house. And I'm like watching the fucking timer, and I know what my times are, and I usually know how far back he is off me. Kind of rolls by, and like, where the fuck is he? I no way this dude just fucked up a 10-minute gap. Like that's crazy on a mountain bike.
So this is like a team
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, it's like
Okay.
a 2-man team.
Okay.
So I'm like, dude, surely this dude isn't just about to fuck our whole race up. Dude comes out of the woods with his bike broken, and I'm like, dude. He's like, I'm sorry, man. And I'm like, all right. So like, I switch and I take off, bust out 2 laps. I get the gap back, kind of bridge back out. We're like 7 minutes out again. And he's like, let me go back out. So I have another bike that's like a single sprocket. So it's just like, you know, single. And
Parker used to ride one of those all the time.
So I got him on mine, and I was like, dude, fucking take it easy. We have a gap. I just need you to do 1 lap, and we're gonna win this thing. Dude comes back out of the woods with my bike broke again, dude.
Did you get to yell at him like
Dude,
if
I
he
yelled
was
at
your
him
kid?
so bad,
You're like,
bro.
God damn it, Dad!
We ended up losing it, and I think we ended up like we like 3rd or something like that. Like I ended up going back out and like kind of trying to reel it all back in, and they called the race because like the track got bad or whatever, and it It was funny though, because I had like the fastest time of the day, and then like my teammate had blown it for me basically.
And your teammate was your dad.
Dude, yeah, and I've done a lot of this with them, dude. We went out to Alabama and did a race, and I broke a bike. I broke my bike, ended up on somebody else's bike, destroyed their bike. Dude, soup kitchen. Like, I'm talking, I'd literally tell people I was riding in peanut butter.
Oh,
And
I've ridden out in peanut butter in fucking Alabama
Dude.
hair scrambles, so yeah, I get it.
And I had broken like a shoe or something, and I was pedaling back 1 foot, like for like the last like 2 miles, and I thought the guy that was passing me was like second, and I literally was like, "Yo, tell him like I'm my bad," but like I just picked the bike up and I'm just running through the woods. Like I'm like whatever we can do to finish. We end up winning it.
No shit.
Dude, we ended up winning it, and I
That's
thought I had let him
awesome.
down, and I like roll in there like fucking pumped, and I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. I was like, I fucked up. I was like, I should have just taken it easy here. Like, I knew we had this gap, and I was just, but I was like, dude, I was just having a fucking blast. Like, I was just shredding this track, and I was like, then I broke my shoe, and my shoe like had like gotten fucked up, and dude, we ended up winning it. Parker's done a couple races with me, and I've seen him out there. He was having a good time. I remember him riding this pump track with me, dude, and. Did he ever tell you, or do you ever know when he like broke his collarbone?
Ooh, yeah,
On the mountain
somewhat.
bike?
Yeah.
So he came out, so like there's like a pump track hidden like back in these woods, and he kept running his seat high. Not talking shit on him, but he ran his seat high, and I was like, bro, you gotta lower that thing. He ended up getting kicked and hitting the face of another one and slamming his shoulder, and he broke his collarbone. And I had to like go get the truck and get him out of the woods, and I don't remember if he drove home or I had to like get him home. But yeah, dude, he took a slam. But yeah, he got like pretty gnarly on the mountain bikes there after like not long after that.
So you talking about the pump track made me think about when you're talking about your kid on the Stasic, not even the Stasic, the Strider earlier.
Yeah.
Do you know about the pump tracks that's a mile from here? At Pittner Road Dog Park?
No. Is it gnarly?
No, it's not gnarly, but you're gonna like. I want to show you this just so you'll bring your kid here.
Oh, I would 100%.
A little bit from now. Damn it! I usually can find this video pretty quick. I don't know what's going on here. So actually, that's not even so much related to the show. So we'll get to that later. But what I do want to talk about is this is something I brought up with Opie. Brought it up with Chris. I think I brought it up with Stokes. Where do you think road racing went wrong? Like, not just aside from the 08 fallout. What is your opinion? Because I feel like you danced on it a little bit, but you didn't want to say. You said some politics and some blah, blah, blah. Where do you think it went wrong?
I think it is a lot of the politics, man. I think even like you see it in Supercross and stuff like that. Like it just, I think they get the wrong people in charge, and like I remember being in the paddock. Like, so this is a story too. I won't say any names because I don't know if they're still in the paddock.
Yeah,
Keeping them out of
leave it
trouble.
out.
So GNF last year I raced before I went. That was like 2011, so before the last year before I raced, like stopped racing. Gerloff is riding on a factory Yamaha, and he's showing up to like all the nationals. He's racing Lewis. I think Lewis was on the Vezra team at that time. By then, so they're like battling for the championship, and dude, they're based on factory bikes. I mean, Lewis was not on a factory bike, but Gerloff was. Dude, we didn't even realize. Like, we have heard some stories. But we got an ECM through some people. So we had what was a flash like stock ECM, which would only let you do so much with it. But like Graves in them have like
I literally was about to say, was this a Graves thing? Like that was about to come out of my mouth.
Graves had a ECM. I don't know if it's just like all the factory teams. It's basically an empty ECM. Like, you can do anything to it. Like, you put your pit limiter in it. You can get the bike to, like, basically less engine brake. Like, dude, it's nuts.
Like, if you wanted to set it to blow up, you could set it to blow up.
It would do anything, right?
Right? Yeah.
So we had a guy who's been around racing for a long time. Worked with a lot of pro riders, a lot of guys you know. A lot of people you know. And he comes up to us, and we just get motored down the back straightaway. Like, in qualifying. Like, he had been watching it, and he was like, he finally like walks over to our pits. Brian Livingston was working on my motors at the time, which like dude's a reputable motor builder, like, but like he can only do so much with so much, and he knows about the ECMs, but like to get this ECM is like the holy grail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This guy literally walks up to us and was like, "I'm tired of watching you get fucking motored. Like, you have the speed. We're tired of watching you get motored." And this is the same weekend I'm racing with Chris Turner and everybody, and like he was like, "I need this much money, if you can come up with it, and that's all I need you to just trust me." Comes back like this is like morning qualifying. Comes back at the end of the day, is fucking ECM, and hands it over, and he goes, "Just give it to Living Good. He'll know what to do with it." Shows up with a factory fucking Graves ECM, hands it over to us. I'm sure if this was like when I was racing Girl Off and all them, so like nuts to even get their hands on this thing.
Yeah.
And it may have been easier for other people, but for us, it just like wasn't normal. You know what I mean? Brian loads my bike up at 10 o'clock at night from the track, takes it back to his shop, runs it on the dyno all night, pulls these fucking numbers out of this bike. Basically nothing changed on the bike other than this ECM.
ECM, yeah.
Pulled these wild numbers out of it, rolls it back from the track. He's smiling that morning. Looks at me and goes, "You have to run practice, but you have to short shift 2 seconds." He's like, "Because the pit limiter will hit at 50." So, because he couldn't get a button put in to it in time.
Ah, okay.
So like you have to have a button.
Or like when you said, I was like,
Yeah,
wait, what?
so there's a
But
button
nah,
that goes to
yeah.
it. So he basically was like, "You just got to short shift." I'm like, "That's easy enough." He's like, "You got to remember to short shift." And I remember like one lap I forgot, and I was like, "Oh, there it is." Well, I end up going in like morning practice, and I end up getting in behind Girl Off purposely. Like I had been hunting him down in practice, like trying to find him. Come out of turn 7 with him, get in the fucking draft, and just like pulled out of the draft and started motoring by this dude. And I just roll off the gas. I didn't want him to know I had the speed. So then I just like pull back. I look back, nobody's behind me. I'm like, cool, nobody has speed. Pull back in the pits, and I'm just cheesing. Dude, like this is the first time we've like got close to like touching people like on the back stretch. We weren't underpowered, like we weren't just like the underdog anymore. Roll into the pits, and they were like, "The fuck's wrong?" And I was just like, "We're good." Like I was like, "We're good. Like we're gonna win." Like that was, dude, the confidence was just like through the roof. Like that's why like I came from such a high that weekend to like the next year just struggling, because I was like, dude, we're gonna be good. Like once you have the ECM, you're good. I think you could run it in the super stock class, but like you could only run certain things also.
Yeah.
And I remember I came out, I think Sassmans were racing on their Yamahas. I think it was Chris Turner, Garrett Gerloff, Jake Lewis, and Hayden Gillum. There was like a shit ton of us, dude. We all come out of 7. I think I was like 7th out of turn 7.
And what track was this?
This at Road Atlanta for the GNF.
Yeah.
Coming out, and I just get in the draft, dude, and I'm just like pulling people. And I'm just like, we end up going through, what is that, turn 9? Like right before you come down the 10A and TB.
10A. Yep.
And I'm like all the way, like I'm the outside guy, like 6 wide. We're rolling in this thing. And I was telling myself, I was like, I just got to break deeper than everybody. Like we're going to win this thing. Came in, and it was everything I had to slow this fucking bike down, dude. Ended up pulling it into 3rd, coming into 10A, flopping back in. Like, dude, it was every man. Like, I think everybody was just looking at each other to try to figure who had the biggest balls. Like, and it was, yeah, like, I think I almost crashed. Like, I was like, I just got to get this bike slowed down, and I'm going to be good. I ended up getting out front and putting a lead on everybody. Chris Turner ended up tracking me down. Like, I kind of got into, like, a nice comfort speed. And Chris and me battled for, like, probably the whole race, dude. Like, Chris would blow my doors off at, like, 10A, going into 10B, and then we would, like, pretty be equal in 12, and then I knew I had, like, a little bit more on the door on them.
Was this old 12 or new 12?
New 12. So the bus
so
stop.
like a real hard.
And I had this technique, dude, and I don't think anybody really knew, but I would try to, like, it was such a weird thing, and I still do it, like, to this day, like, just fucking around. But, like, when I came down that hill, I would always come at it, like, more of a left angle, and then when I'd load the front end up, I wouldn't back it in right, like, automatically. I would go left and, like, have it come out this way, and then I'd swap it back this way, but I would do it to block the inside. Because, like, it would just, like, make the bike look like it was way out of shape, and I would try to like hold the bike kind of blocking, and then I would slide it in and then turn. And like that was just like a weird thing I did, and I don't know if it was like look crazy or like it really like did anything, but to me I was like, if it looks like I'm guarding the front, maybe nobody will like, or the inside, nobody will try to go up the inside.
Or if
nobody
they're
did.
like, this guy's fucking crashing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna back off.
So like it was
to,
like my little
mentally,
technique.
Yeah.
And then I would pass Turner in one, and we would kind of battle through the infield, and Gerloff ended up catching us because we were just battling, dude, like back and forth, back and forth. And I think we had like 3 laps to go. We get into a lapper at turn 2. Chris and Gerloff had gotten by, and I kind of stayed behind them to see what the pace was going to be. And I love turn 1, dude. I would love just to let the thing slide all the way up in there and just let it kind of adjust.
Well, I love you're going up,
dude.
You know,
and on the 600, I figured if you could just turn over and just hold it wide open, all the way to the top of the hill, it was sketchy. Like I about high sided there one morning practice and like was almost over the top. Somebody's got a picture of the tank. I'll have to send you where I'm on the top of the tank, broke my fairing, and Gerloff and Turner had gotten through there cleaner through this fucking lap rider, dude. Dude should not have been riding like in that class. He should have definitely been the novice. And I end up almost hitting him, and it pushed me off like right when you flick right through the chicane and like come out. I end up going through the grass, and I was just watching them pull away, and I'm like, dude, fuck, like there's my race. Like this is like the first race of the day. Like I'm like, I had some speed. Like I got to get him back. I go and tip it in 5, and I'm trying to make up some ground and just absolutely high side myself to the moon. If you
was it because you went into the grass?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what, dude. I think it was part of that because it had rained that morning. So I don't know if it was like I had something on my tire, but like I flick it into 5, dude, and it throws me to the moon. And like I ended up from the bottom of the hill to the top of the hill, dude.
And that's wheelie healing you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember getting up, and my bike was just like laying on the side of the track, like gas pouring out. I was like, this thing's about to catch fire. So like the corner marshal's like laughing at me. He's like,
please tell me you stripped down to your underwear
I'm
and
on
you
fire,
were like,
Ricky
I'm on
boy."
fire.
No, the corner marshal looks at me. He was like, he was so funny. He was like, dude, last time I saw somebody fly like that, they had a flight attendant. Like, I guess I got hummed, dude. And Heron was actually watching in that corner. And here comes Heron, like, you know, Heron, dude, he just doesn't give a shit. Comes ripping down on his pitter down the side of the track, like at the end of the gravel, and like picks me up. He's like, you good? And I was like, yeah. He's like, all right, I'll ride you back. And like, we get back to the trailer, dude. And I don't know who ended up winning that race. I think Gerloff ended up winning it. And it just gave me such a high for the next race. So we get the bike back together. We're piecing it back. We pull another tank, put it on that. And fucking, I guess the Yamahas that they're running on their side, it like something in the oil pump, I think, and like detonates the motors basically if you don't shut them off. Something happened. I literally on the first lap, fucking blowing my motor of the next race, and that was like the end of my weekend. So like we had like a super high of just like being fast. Like the whole like last round, we ended up winning. Like me and Jake Lewis were teammates on the mouse box race and won the championship on the 4-hour endurance by like a point, dude. Because a motor blew. Lewis blew a motor on our endurance bike. I drove all the way home. We had a backup motor that had a transmission problem, and the transmission would click. And as long as we could get the motor and do one lap, we just had to do one lap, we'd win it by a point. I drove all the way home, drove all the way back with this motor in the back of my truck. X sat in our pit and watched us put a motor in our fucking bike. I went out and I think I did 2 laps, and we won it by like a point.
No shit,
dude. It was gnarly. It was the coolest thing ever because, dude, our team was just like pumped, and I like came through like the finish line like wheeling, and I think I like backed it in so long down the front straightaway into turn. Dude, I was just having the time of my life on the cooldown lap. But yeah, dude, that was a crazy like end of that 2011 season from like having just like the worst season of my life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you won it. So.
Yeah. But no, I think a lot of the politics, man, with the racing stuff, like I know we got a little sidetracked, but like just
Squirrel.
like stuff like that, dude. I think like they try to make these classes so much, but then like I think they just go different routes, and I think they don't promote it like Supercross or like NASCAR, like what I mean. And I think that's the big thing on the sport. And like I said, I told you, I think the Harley has been really good for this because it brings a different environment into guys.
Yep.
of into these tracks, and I think the Harleys, I hate to say it, are saving the sport.
Yeah.
Like now that they're going overseas like next year or something, like
Oh, really?
I think they're going overseas next
shit.
year. Like I think they're doing like a Grand Prix of like over in the GP stuff with them. I think I saw it.
So it's funny you say that. So a little bit of my theory with it is almost the reason why NASCAR is popular, F1's popular, and the bagger thing is starting to get popular, right? Is you have all these people that watch it and they think they can do it.
That's it.
Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right?
100%. I know you did an interview with we were just talking about him, Rodney Sargent.
Yeah.
Dude, you go and watch these dudes like on Harleys, like doing the stunt stuff. Dude, we've done some shows. I've done some shows for Harleys. Like I was supposed to do one next weekend for Harley until I did this. Dude, you could wheelie like a madman on these things. You do a fucking burnout. Dude, them hillbillies love it.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they think they can do it.
Yeah.
It's a relatable thing to them.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, and everybody's got and they can turn these baggers like into that performance style. Like you see them in the shops all the time, and like they're doing it for the forks now on these things. They just released the R. It's like 120 grand. Nuts, dude. Would never spend that because it really doesn't take that much to get these big fucking bikes to turn like that. But like you said, they're so relatable, and that people think they can do it.
Yeah, and it's sad to like the core guys like us, or even the motocross guys too, because we know how gnarly that shit is. You even talked about with Sparkies, like your buddy trying to talk you into racing A, and you were like,
showed up like
maybe
a
I could do it, and then you're like, nope,
dude.
No,
it's nuts. Like every time somebody's asked me to like ride, like, and it's crazy, dude. Even now, like I'll get a random person ask me, like, even when I stopped racing, I would get random calls. Hey, do you want to try to do around here? Do you want to do this here? Hey, want to do this? Dude, I know what it takes to be that fast.
Yeah.
I know what it takes to be at that
just
level.
give him my number.
Yeah,
time.
I got
just
you.
Be like, hey, my buddy, he'll pull his leathers off the fucking wall.
And I tell guys, and they're like, oh man, a couple months. I'm like, dude, to be as fast as I want to be, because I'm one of those people, like, I don't want to just go out there and, like, I don't like to do anything half-assed. Like, even ride motocross. Like, I'll go ride motocross every so often. Like, I'll get a wild hair and buy a bike. I'll go to the gym and start fucking training. Like, I'm going to go race Supercross. I'll go out there, and if I'm not fast, dude, I get pissed.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's the competitiveness in me for me. So, like, dude, everybody asks me, like, why can't you just go out and have fun? I'm like, going fast and running a bike that hard is fun. Putting around, yeah, like, it's cool for a little bit, but, like, I'm that guy that wants to just put in some laps. Like, I told my buddy, like, I'll build a pit bike track in my backyard and run fucking 10 tanks of gas out of it and have fun. Like, that's busting lap after lap after lap. Like, I'm your guy.
Because you're searching for the edge at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, I'm looking for that consistent lap time. Like, and I do it, dude. We go in my backyard. I have, like, a little pitter track in my backyard. And actually, not long ago, I ended up slamming on my TCR in the backyard. Called my mom. I thought I ripped my ass open, dude. I hit so hard. I got up and I was like, I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom and just check this out. Like, I think I fucked up. And I called her. I was like, hey. I was like, she was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'll let you know in about 10 minutes if I just rip my ass open. I was like, but I'm pretty sure I'm fucked right now. And I was good, but dude, I was hurting for a couple days. Like, and like that's the thing. Like, I was thinking about that. Like, even like you think about like people don't understand like what it takes to go that fast. Like, the dudes that are like slamming in motocross or on the super bikes and stuff like that, like the way they're able to just get back up is because they're doing this day in and day out. Like, they are full on like athletes. Like, these dudes are training at home. Like, it's gnarly, dude. Like, so for like your average Joe to come out there and try to take a hit, and like even me, like I went and rode motocross, took like one big hit, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking hurt for a couple days. Like,
yeah.
I tell my mom and then that I'm like, dude, I am not. I keep thinking I'm like 2010, 2011 Jake, and then the world realizes that I'm like a 30-year-old dude that like is getting his ass beat.
Yeah, but to the people that have hit you up and you're just like, nope, because you want to be 2010 Jake, I do hope you can somehow find to turn that off a little bit, because I do feel like you can have some more fun with it.
Yeah, and I've started to kind of get that. I think with my kids slowed me down a lot, and I've realized like all right, maybe I can have fun on motorcycle. So like Daniel, my buddy that we talked about, like in like a couple other buddies, like we've been talking about getting like some T7s and ripping woods and like or go get
Dude, Rodney is a T7 king.
So my buddy like
Yep.
Dylan, they all go right, and he's like so pumped on it. He's been sending me bikes on Marketplace.
Have you
and
seen
stuff.
Pickle?
Yeah. So I've been like that's like kind of where I'm like trying to have fun on the bike and stuff and
Yeah.
just like go rip, but like competitive like racing, dude, I can't you know, like you can't turn that switch off, dude. We go to the go-kart track, dude, and I tell people, I'm like, I give you a 3 bump rule. Like, 1's to let you know I'm there, 2's get the fuck out of my way. I'm
And
putting
the
you in the
third,
wall.
I'm putting,
Yeah,
I'm
like,
fucking you
and
up.
then I want to be the fastest guy. Like,
Yeah.
it's just my competitiveness. And like I said, my kids turn
Look,
me down
I've been
a lot.
kicked out of Andretti's before,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I get
dude,
it.
I'll never go to Andretti's K1 or like you got to go to like the outdoor stuff. But yeah, I mean, my kid has slowed me down a lot, dude.
Yeah.
He really has. And like, that's like we talked about, like our kids not like riding. Like people were like, dude, he's gonna ride motorcycles. And I was like, dude, the kid could be the most killer on a clarinet. Like, and I'm cool with it. Like,
Yeah.
I know how bad I hurt, and I know what the ups and downs are of that. And like, it was, dude, I will say, like, it's made me who I am today as far as like a human, like work ethic and stuff. Like, that's the one thing I can take out of it. Like, your work ethic is there, but like, dude, it's a different world, dude. It is definitely a different world. Like, you try to explain people that world of like racing constantly weekends, and like they're like, oh yeah, I get it, and you're like, dude, you don't get it. Like, you don't get it. Like, that is like
No, and that's where I was talking about before. It's not relatable to them. You know what I mean?
I struggled like growing up. I will say, like, trying to relate to a lot of people, and now like my buddies, like they kind of all get it, and it's funny because like I don't like to be that guy. Like, I just want to be the guy that sits in the background and hangs out and rides motorcycles. And sometimes like you get some people who are like, oh no, like, dude, you're a badass, and I'm like, nah, dude, I just ride motorcycles. Like,
Yeah.
I enjoy it now. Like, dude, it's so cool. Like, Matt Lynn for a long time would watch me do the Harley stunt stuff. Like, when I was like kind of getting heavy into it, like 17, he would be like on my fucking lives and shit, and just like hyping me up, dude. And that was like the coolest thing ever because like Matt's just a solid dude for it.
Yeah.
And dude, I enjoyed it. But yeah, dude, I was on like Marketplace looking for a woods bike today, and I saw he was selling his 350. And I was like, you know what? Like, if you could buy anything from anybody, that's
Matt's
the bike.
the one to get.
Dude,
yeah.
Because you know that thing's meticulously
And he
wrote.
works for KTM Group.
Like, you know he's so meticulous with his shit. Like,
Yeah.
I've been around him. Like, you know he's like, he's got his shit together.
Somebody asked me the other day, like, what my favorite episode was, and I said it was the one with Matt, Terry, and my wife. Just
Dude,
because, like,
I love watching
there was a
that
lot of
one.
history, and I also had my wife on, and then Matt and I got to sort out our beef that we had. Like it was just epic. So yeah, Matt. Yeah, I like Matt a lot.
Looking at Matt, like Matt really just kind of like walked away from, not say walk away from this, but he just like has that love, and like I think him and Terry just kind of have that love of riding.
Yep.
And they do it together, dude, and they enjoy the shit out of it. And I get on Facebook all the time, and I'm like watching them do shit. And I'm like, dude, what a badass! Like,
Yeah.
what a freaking badass, dude. He's always doing something, like, and it's always like wood related, and they're just always on like crazy trips doing stuff like that. I'm like,
I know, because I text him, I'm like, hey, going up the fan, and you guys want to cut? And he's like, oh, I'm out here in fucking Arizona. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. Yeah. When he'll text back.
yeah, dude, yeah. He used to be there on social media there for a little bit, and then I've like slid up on stuff, and he'll like, you'll see him open it. I'm like, dude, he's just like, he's in his own world now.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't blame him. Like, you get to that
And
point.
honestly, if you look at the person his dad is, that's also a badass in his own right. Like, I feel like he's going into that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So like, and he's earned that right to be that.
And I'm getting there. Like, my buddies laugh at me because, dude, like I said, I got into the golf stuff, but like when I'm hanging out with my kid, dude, I zone out from everybody. Like, I check out. But dude, it's so fun. Like, I never thought something would slow me down. And dude, the love for a kid and like being able to watch him, like, he rides his little bike, and even now, he doesn't really, like, we got him in soccer now, like getting ready to play soccer in October, just like on this little like bullshit little sport thing. Dude, I'm pumped.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna bully some kids because he bullies me. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time. But I tell people, I'm like, when he's ready, he's ready. If he doesn't, fuck it, that's my thing. You know what I mean?
What I hope you will do, and this is one thing that I did for my kid, and my mother-in-law hates me for it, is I don't want to be that parent. You know what I mean? I don't want to be the one screaming at my kid. I don't want to be the asshole. I want him to figure out what he likes to do. So I will step it back and just, I'll give him some advice if he wants it, but I'm not going to be screaming. I'm not going to be pissed off. And I'm just going to be like in a zen, right?
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. So
You have
I
to.
hope
Oh,
you
dude,
go
that's-
down that road. And honestly, I feel like you're going to be that dude with
Dude,
him too.
100%. Like,
Yeah.
like when he does, I will say, like, he got on the stay stick the other day and he was like bitching about, like, yeah, I told you he was like turning it on and off. And I'm like, whatever, dude. I'm like, you just want to go back to the car? And he's like, back to the car. And I'm like, oh, damn, that backfired.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I have to like tell myself, I'm like, dude, he doesn't really care. And I'll let him just push it around. I'm like, you want to push it around? I'm like, then I was like, you want to get the soccer ball? He's like, oh, soccer ball.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool. But like, yeah, dude, I've always been that person. Like, even when my like oldest nephew was born, I think everybody thought he would like ride motorcycles because I had just came off of racing motorcycles, and I was like, dude, why the hell would he ride motorcycles? Like, that's me. The same thing with my kid. Like, I hate watching the dads who like played like high school baseball that really like almost made it but never made it.
Yeah.
And like they went through, they're like through and through yelling at their kid for baseball. Like,
Dude, and that's
dude,
why I
let the
said
kid
that with
play
it.
the
It's
fucking
like,
drums.
I'm not going to be that parent because I'm not going to live what I wanted to be through my kid. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, I got to live my life. So I want my kid to figure out what his life is going to
Exactly.
be, kind of thing.
Like, if my kid comes to me and is like, I want to, I will say, like, if he comes to me and is like, you want to race super bikes? I'd be like, nah. Like, I would probably tell him no.
Yeah.
I'd probably, I'll be honest with you, I'd probably tell him no to motocross. I would probably get him into like flat track or wood stuff.
I will tell you one thing. I will absolutely shut that shit down. And my kid knows right now, quads.
Oh, yeah.
And in fact,
Can't
dude,
be a
this,
quad dude.
Dude, this was funny as shit.
I'm surprised you haven't had a quad dude. I could see you being a quad guy.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So the funny thing with it is my wife and I both are like, nope, not quads. We don't do quads in this house. And honestly, we do that because we know how dangerous they are, right?
Yeah.
So he finally started riding the bus like this year. And he's like, hey, this kid on my bus rides quads. And I told him how.
Told me he was gay.
Kind of. Like, I forget how he worded it, but my wife and I looked at each other and we were like, oh, we fucked up. You know,
I hate it.
but we were like, we had to take a step back and be like, look, if he wants to ride quads, pump him up. Be like, cool, buddy. But just, I want you to know, we don't want you to do it because
The danger.
they feel safe, but they're dangerous kind of thing. And he's actually smart enough to be able to figure that out, and then he let it go.
Yeah.
But for the first week on the bus, we were like, oh, fuck.
You
we
can't
fucked-
say that to the kid.
Yeah, we fucked up. Yeah.
Dude.
Because it wasn't quite like, quads are gay. Like, because we're not going to go down that road because,
Yeah.
you know, in 10 years, you get probably stabbed for saying that.
For sure. I
But-
put you on a board.
Yeah, but that was pretty funny. I forget what he said.
That's a hoot.
All right, dude. Well, I feel like we wrapped up most of the stories.
Yeah,
And I
dude.
would love to get some more out of you. And like I said, dude, we'll end up going for this for 4 hours.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I've been up since
I
4:45.
feel ya.
I thought we were gonna wake up together tomorrow
I
and just
know,
like
dude.
skip
I
out
know,
of
dude.
here and just, dude, I'm so bummed. But I will say this: I promise you, next year, hopefully it's either in Charlotte or another one. We're gonna try to make this happen.
Just give me
We're
a
gonna-
shout.
We're gonna make it happen.
Give me a
all right?
shout, dude. I'm down.
All right.
Glad I could get on this thing and stop bailing on you. I literally do this that one time. I was like, dude, he's never gonna call me back. Dude, everything's just been going so crazy in life, and I was like, dude, this guy's never gonna call me back. And then I think I was like talking about your podcast, and I was like, dude, you'd never fucking call me back. And I think like a week later, you hit me up, and I was like, all right, here's my shot.
I gotta make it happen.
And that's why I called you. I was like, all right, let me explain some.
No, and that's the thing. Like, I'm never gonna be like, I will text, dude. Shu and J Ride will tell you. I probably text them like once a month, like, hey, because I'm like, I gotta get you on because I
Yeah.
know you've got a good story, right? And I've got a whole list of guys too, and you were on the top of them. But what I would love to do too for the next one is like you, Parker, and Chris.
Oh, dude,
You know
that'd
what I
be
mean?
a fucking hoot.
Like, so
I
we're
haven't
gonna
seen
try
them
to
boys
get there.
in so long, dude.
Yeah.
So that would be a good time.
Yeah. But anyways, I want to thank the people that made this show possible. So HKR, MX201 Track Designs, and Innovative Mechanical LLC. You guys, please reach out to them. Let you know that you heard about them through the show. Especially, you've got buddies that building tracks. Dude, Matt builds a sick track.
Really?
I literally on Tuesday walked a track with him 15 minutes from here with my buddy, and we were gonna make a track.
Dude,
so
yeah, my buddy, his mom's got like 10 acres, and I've been like slowly poking at her about building like a straight woods track. And
hold on. Your mom's buddy has 10 acres.
Oh,
and
no,
you're
no, no. My buddy's mom. Holy
Your buddy's
shit.
mom has 10 acres, and you're slowly poking her.
Yeah. No,
Look, I've seen a lot of movies on my phone about that, actually.
I think that those sites are forbidden nowadays in the U.S.
No, you just got to verify your age. It's fine.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm 12. With a $100 bill. No, yeah, she's got like 10 acres, and she's all about us like coming out there and building a full woods track. And I'm like, I don't think she understands what she's getting herself to. I'll never leave her house.
Yeah.
Like, I will be over there every day. She will literally be like, get this dude out of my fucking yard finally.
All right. Well, I don't know the next show I got lined up, but I will set one up. And thanks again for watching and listening. If you guys have any good stories, you can call it at any time, 844-789-2367, and leave a voicemail. We'll play it on the show. And I think that's about it. Dude, Jake, I'm so pumped we got to finally
I'm so
do
pumped.
this,
I'm bummed
right?
that we don't get to go to Supercross tomorrow. I was so pumped to go to the MA.
We'll make it happen.
For sure.
So, all right. See you later. Oh, I just remembered. Wait.
Did you bail on somebody?
Nope. I forgot that I always end with my kid story.
Talking mad shit.
So, we're going to end with the story I got from my kid earlier today. So, if a 5-year-old can tell a good story, so can you.
B, tell me a story.
Once upon a time, me and Frankie were riding a motorcycle, and we were on a dirt bike track. And some of the people that were watching us ride were having to go to the bathroom, so they just peed on the track and right after us, and we passed a bunch of people, and we didn't get, and somebody pooped and peed on the track, and so the other people slipped and went flying, and then just went straight down, and they just fell headfirst into water.
Then that's it?
And then a giant person...
Say, Little League.
Apply now at RedBullRookiesCup.com.
And he was invisible, so it was just a chainsaw running on.
So what did it sound like? What did the chainsaw sound like?
It sounded kind of like this.
For those, because this is audio only, B just got a toy chainsaw for Halloween. So that's where that came from. Great story, B. Is that it? Bye.
It's like we can't function on this level. You laugh at who you're the joke that's taken too far. It's complexion we won't take a step. We just keep getting closer.